I think we're okay on our mix. Power of Cougar football on display a week ago. A huge fourth quarter sealed a much-needed SCFA Northern League victory. Tonight, another league rival invades Cougar Stadium as the third-ranked COC Cougars host the Long Beach City College Vikings. Hi, everybody. Welcome into Cougar Stadium. Another gorgeous day here in November as we get you ready for some college football action. I'm Matt Robinson alongside the Sports Information Director here for College of the Canyons, Jesse Munoz. We've got a good matchup for you today. The 7-1 COC Cougars and the 6-2 Long Beach City College Vikings. Well, Jesse, the Cougars flexed a bit of their muscle last week, coming up with a huge second half to beat rival Ventura, pick up a much-needed win in the SCFA's Northern League.
Definitely. It's been the same kind of story we've seen week in and week out with these Cougar teams. You know, you make the second half adjustment, and that translates into big plays. And to quote the words of sophomore linebacker Charles Ike, Cougars knew they were better than how they had been playing in the second half. It was a matter of making that adjustment. And after that, the whole team came out and started making plays. And I'll tell you what, no one made more plays than Charles Ike himself. The man was a man possessed out there. Finished the game with 17 total tackles, 11 of the solo variety. Ended up being the SCFA National Division Player of the Week. You know, but he's just one of those names out there of that defensive unit that really got after Ventura in the second half. You pair that with a couple big plays from Armani Eden in the offense, and hey, Cougars were able to get out of there 48-38, final score.
And the win puts them in the driver's seat right now in the Northern League. They have the inside path towards another league title. Still 2 very long weeks to go.
Absolutely.
But one of the things the Cougars are really excited about going into these last 2 weeks is some of the leadership that was shown last week, especially from that guy you just talked about, Armani Eden.
Armani had an amazing job. You know, had an up and down first half of sorts, threw a couple turnovers, led to some Ventura points. You know, but by all accounts, took control of the situation and really responded in the second half. You know, I talked to Coach Ted Iacinde. He said what was most impressive was his team's resiliency, and that started with Eden. You know, came into the halftime locker room, admitted, hey, I made some mistakes. I gave up 14 points, but you know what, gentlemen, I'm going to go out and get those points back, and that's exactly what he did. 3 touchdown passes on the day. He was able to hook up with Tyquan Gilmore with the actual go-ahead. Earlier in the game, Romello Cook, and then kind of the icing on the cake, Trayvon Elliott with the 88-yard screen pass. sealed the victory for Canyons, and that was a big one.
381 yards through the air for him last week. Another very impressive game. Not a team to overlook tonight in Ventura. 6-2, coming in on a 4-game winning streak, is starting to play their better football. Remember, one asterisk in there, they do have a forfeit win over LA Valley College, but still a much better team coming in this week to play Canyon. So back-to-back tough weeks for COC.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Ventura is the game that everyone had circled on their calendar. You go back to the history last year. But that's over. That's gone. We've moved past that, and this is a very talented Long Beach team, very well coached, always going to be a problem, a tough out, so to speak. So, you know, this is the game now.
Yep.
Last week was the game. Now it's this week. This is the one. This is the key, the pivotal matchup. It's going to determine how the rest of the season goes.
It should be a very interesting one as we're just about ready to get underway. We'll step aside for a few moments. We'll come back. We'll have the opening kickoff here from Cougar Stadium. Third-ranked COC Cougars and the Long Beach City College Vikings. Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. Matt Robinson, Jesse Munoz with you as we're just about ready to go for the opening kick here between the COC Cougars and the Long Beach City College Vikings. Long Beach won the toss and deferred to the second half, so we'll get a look at the COC offense here to start the game, and we'll get our look at the special teams, the offensive special teams for COC, which, Jesse, believe it or not, this year, despite all of their talent, do not have a touchdown on special teams this year.
Well, not the touchdown, but a lot of big plays. Like you said, a lot of talent, a lot of explosive athletes out there. Starts with the kicking game in Tanner Brown, but again, a lot of electric returners and some guys out there anxious to make their mark, throwing blocks and getting downfield. So a good unit. It's something that Coach Eisen and his staff preach week in and week out, and something they spend a lot of time in practice.
Yeah, it's something that's always been a part of COC football here. I remember plenty of days during practice watching when Chuck Lyon was the head coach. They ran the kickoff every day for 20, 30 minutes every single day, and I know Ted's the same way. As we're just about ready to get underway. So we'll get our first look at the Cougars on offense here in just a few moments. Back to receive to open up the game for COC is, look down the roster here, Lennox Howard back deep to receive, along with, I believe, Chase Edwards Morgan, the other one. As we're just waiting on Long Beach to kick this one away. Here on a Saturday night, a beautiful Saturday in November. Everybody in shorts today. It's been absolutely gorgeous out. As it's going to be Howard to take it at right about the 2-yard line. He'll cut it back across the 15, breaks the tackle at first, and then gets tied up at his feet. He'll come down right about the 25-yard line. and that's where the Cougars will take over on offense for the first time today.
Matt, we talked about in the pregame Armani Eden, but we didn't have a chance to talk about Caden Dunn,
Yep.
sophomore running back, 190 yards on the ground last week, 2 touchdowns, and was really the driving force, I felt like, before that Cougar offense. A lot of hard yardage up the middle, a lot of tight runs, but also some big plays that were able to spark the Cougars when they may have found themselves in a little bit of a rut.
Absolutely. He was going to be the first man I brought up to. Actually, his best game of the year last year, 29 rushes for 190 yards. He's the one back in the backfield to the left of Eden as we go here on first down. Armani will dump it off. Dunn catches, swings inside, and he gets across the 30-yard line. Good little pickup. And that's one thing that Dunn has done better the last couple of weeks, Jesse. Be that out for Armani Eden.
Yeah, we talked about, again, his abilities on the ground. Also had a 20-yard reception last week that was a big-time play for the Cougars, came at a pivotal point in the game.
So the Cougars go on second down at about 3 from the 31-yard line is the spot. They'll hand off to Dunn. He tries to slash up the inside, met by a trio of Vikings, and might have gotten to the first down marker, and they say, I think he did. We'll wait on the signal. It is indeed a signal for a first down, so 2 plays and a first down already for the Cougars as they move the chains.
You know, and the other part about getting Caden Dunn going early is it really allows that offensive line that's been so tremendous this year to really show their physicality out there, really set the tone. You know, they say the game is won and lost in the trenches, and that's no different here at this level.
And it's a deep offensive line there without Killian Zier for the rest of the year. He's injured himself last week against Ventura, but that shows how deep the line is that they can just find the next man up. As Eden will roll to his right, throws downfield, looking for Elliott, but it was behind him. Elliott had looked over his left. The ball was over his right shoulder.
Yeah, just got a little bit turned around on that route, but that's another one of those plays. A lot of explosive potential there. Trayvon Elliott's a young man that's made some big plays here. And you see, like you said, just got turned around which shoulder that ball was coming to. But maybe look for that later down the road here.
It was a beautiful route from Elliott, too. Stopped his defender, cut back to the inside, and was wide open. Would have been a big play for a touchdown if it was a pass complete. As the Cougars at the line, they'll check the sideline here as Eden in the shotgun. Dunn, the lone receiver, to his right. 8 on the play clock here as Eden takes his time. He'll take the snap. Hands off to Dunn. He slashes and bounces it outside across the 40. He has room across midfield, inside the 40. Cuts it back inside, and he's going to be taken down from behind. Ball is out, but it rolls out of bounds. And it's going to be a first down and a big gain for Caden Dunn as he found his way behind the defense.
Well, that's just what we were talking about. A good play here. Cuts, bounces it outside. The blocking's there on the end. And then a fortunate break, the ball bounces out of bounds. But another one of those explosive plays from this Cougar backfield. Caden Dunn getting it going early here. That's what you like to see.
So it's a huge gain for the Cougars on a run from Caden Dunn. A 52-yard run all the way down to the Long Beach 15-yard line. It'll put the Cougars in the red zone for the first time today. And they'll go first and 10 from the 15 this year. COC 50% in the red zone. They've scored touchdowns 50% of the time and have scored 43%, but the first play, a -1, is taken down well behind the line of scrimmage is Jordan Anderson.
Yeah, it just wasn't there. I don't know if that's something Long Beach maybe saw on tape earlier this week or just sniffed it out, but no room to go.
It looked like just a blown block.
Yeah.
As it was Shane Irwin, the big defensive lineman for Long Beach, who we should keep an eye on all day, out of Palos Verdes, has 33 tackles, now 34 on the year, that busted the play up. So it'll put the Cougars at 2nd and 15 from the 20-yard line. As Eden stays in the shotgun, he'll throw here on 2nd and 15. Fires it to the outside. Pass is caught on the outside by Alonzo Henderson, pushed out of bounds. Maybe got the numbers back, so it'll be about 3rd and 10.
Alonzo Henderson, one of the most steady contributors this year for this Cougar offense. Amari Eden looks to him early and often. You can see there another 100-yard game last week, finished with, I believe, 112 yards on the night. So, again, another one of those weapons out there. He's got a lot of them, but he's a guy that can make some big-time plays for you.
5th in the state of California in receptions per game. He averages just a shade under 5 per game. Now has 38 catches on the season. As Eden will throw here on 3rd down. They call it 15. He rolls out to his left. Now he'll just tuck it and run, gets across the 10, and is drug out of bounds by the back of his jersey. And that'll bring up a 4th down from about the 8-yard line here.
Just barely got a hold of him, but that's the other part of Eden's game. You know, he can do damage with his legs. Also rushed for a touchdown last week. So the 3 through the air, 1 on the ground. He's a guy that can just take off at any time.
I think the discussion on the sideline from the officials was whether there was a horse collar. And you could clearly see it on the replay that he was grabbed by the jersey. So no horse collar foul. And it looks like the Cougars will trot out the field goal unit here. As it's Tanner Brown coming in to try about a 22-yard field goal. We'll call it a 24-yard field goal. As Brown from the left hash here, trying to give the Cougars points on the board and an early lead. Snap is down, kick is up, and it is just about as always good. Tanner Brown knocks it through. A 24-yard field goal for Brown, and the Cougars have an early 3-0 lead. For Tanner Brown, perfect from inside the 20-yard line, 4 for 4 on the year. It is now 9 of 12 overall this season on field goals. So the Cougars with an early 3-0 lead. The drive stalls out after an early penalty on 1st and 10 from the 15-yard line in the red zone. Cougars could never get the numbers back, but get points on the board and an early lead here for COC. 12:18 to go in this first half. So we'll go back to work here for the Cougars. They'll kick off from their own 35-yard line. I believe Zion Bowen's back deep to receive. He's been the returner all year this year for Long Beach. 11 returns off kickoffs for 235 yards. As Brown boots this one high and short, it'll be taken at about the 10-yard line. Vikings, Bowen's trying to find a way, and he's brought down at right about the 20. He doesn't get many yards out of it. Good job by the special teams for the Cougars. And we'll get our first look at the Long Beach offense.
And Matt, I'm interested to see where this Cougar defense, if they pick up right where they left off. Like we said, Charles Ike had a big-time game last week, one of the leaders out there, but there was a lot of guys flying around making plays. You know, a couple other names that jumped out at me. Jonathan Thomas, Ben Seymour, Tyler Richardson. You know, a lot of guys out there can bring a lot of pressure. So I'm sure Coach Corber will be looking to get that going here early on and keep the momentum in Canyon's favor.
On 1st and 10, they'll run here, do the Vikings. And bringing it up across the 25-yard line is Saidi Galloway. As Galloway on the run, Derek West is the quarterback for Long Beach. He's been pretty good this year, 1497 through the air on 119 completions this year as he stays in the shotgun with 2 backs behind him. West, the lefty, will keep it on an RPO. Wants to throw downfield, but it's picked off. He threw it right into the hands of Matthew Ballantyne. He'll return it back across. Actually, excuse me, it's Latif Ledoux. And he returns it all the way back to the 30-yard line. A big turnover to start the game for the Cougars here.
Oh, that's huge, and it's exactly what you want if you're the College of the Canyons Cougars. Just out there playing center field and came up with that ball. Keeps it a short field for the Cougars offense, but you know, West just let it sail on him a little bit. You know, this is a guy that threw 5 touchdowns last week, so obviously, you know, has the potential to get it done, was himself the offensive player of the week last week. So a mistake, and one that he'll definitely want back, but if you're the Cougars, you're going to take advantage of this and try and pounce here.
And on that defensive play from the Cougars, too, if you notice, they overloaded the left side of the field, and with the lefty West, something I saw on film, he likes to throw the ball over the middle and to the left only, doesn't throw a lot to the right. Maybe something the Cougars noticed, and they already exploited for an interception. As we go here on 1st and 10 for COC from the Long Beach 34-yard line. Eden takes his time, done the lone back. He'll fake the handoff, swings it out. Henderson catches, has to spin it back inside the numbers, and he's wrapped up well behind the line of scrimmage. Good job by the Long Beach defense. First in on contact was DeAnthony Jones.
And good thought process for the Cougars. You know, the timing just wasn't there, and by the time Henderson was able to get the ball, Long Beach was on it. So, again, one of those plays you like to see. Cougars roll it out, just wasn't there that time.
So it'll put the Cougars behind the chains here. It'll bring up 2nd down at about 13, a loss of 3 on the play. As they stay lined up in the middle of the field, COC in those gorgeous yellow uniforms, my favorite ones by far, as they hand off to Dunn. He'll bounce it to his right, tries to cut outside the numbers, gets taken down, but gets enough back and plus some, and brings up about a 3rd and 3 as he gets across the 30-yard line.
Dunn running hard once again. It'll be interesting to see if they keep going to him, or, you know, like we said, there's a stable of running backs back there. Cyrus Zool, yet to see his name out there. Jordan Anderson already with a carry, but Caden Dunn's the one that's been pacing the offense the last couple of weeks.
3 carries now for Dunn, already over 50 yards after that big run on the last Cougar drive. He'll stay out there on 3rd and short here to the right of Eden. One receiver out to the far side as they switch Dunn to the left. Eden in the shotgun. Will fake the handoff, rolls to his right, throws over the middle, pass knocked down. It was intended for Amari Smith, and good job defensively by Long Beach, as it was Dallas Burke, the coverage back, to make the play.
Yeah, coverage was right there. You saw Smith get up maybe looking for a flag, but I think it was a boom play. It was right there. See Marcosian pull around the kind of the personal protector. The potential was there. You might say a tad early, but I think that's a good no call. And
so
here we go.
It'll bring up another field goal attempt for Tanner Brown, this time from 45 yards, as Brown's got plenty of leg for this. 3 of 4 from this distance so far this year, and this would tie a season long for him. As the snap is down, the kick is up, and I think he just bent it a little too much to the left. No good. And Long Beach will take over from the 30-yard line here. So a rare miss from Tanner Brown, but a deep kick, and trying to bend it from the right hash, a tough kick for him.
Yeah, a rare miss, and the Vikings really dodge a bullet there. You know, the turnover doesn't do any damage to them, so they can kind of regroup, go back out there and see if they can't get something going. But if you're College of the Canyons, line up, try and do it again. Let's keep our defense off the field and give Eden another opportunity out there.
We talked about it in the pregame. The defense was the difference maker in that second half. They're really the ones that set the table, that allowed Armani Eden and the offense to get back out on the field and make their big plays and score some points. And the defense already starting off well here tonight. We'll see what they dial up here on 1st and 10 as West in the shotgun has a lone back behind him. He'll hand off, and bouncing onto the outside is Galloway, and he's able to get across the 30 to the 35-yard line before he's tackled by, I believe, Charles Ike, the first man in on the hit.
And Matt, going back to your point a moment ago, I mean, you're absolutely right. The Cougar offense is the one that gets a lot of the attention with the big plays, but it was this defensive unit that really rallied in the second half. Even coming out of the first half, you know, Ventura scored on their first possession of the second half and even rallied from there. So
it looks like Galloway down. He was trying to limp off the field, and he didn't even make it across the center of the field area, so we'll hope he's all right for Long Beach. It looks like he's kind of grabbing at his right leg. Galloway, kind of the second of the feature backs between them. Talon Patton, really the guy that's gotten the bulk of the carries for Long Beach this year, but Galloway has come on lately. 56 carries, 354 yards coming in. So this would be a tough loss for Long Beach as they try and control the clock here against a COC team that at times is a very high-powered offense. You look at the COC offensive side.
You know, 2 very similar programs if you go back just thinking about pedigree and the amount of talent that they recruit. You know, Long Beach no different than College of the Canyons. A lot of weapons out there, a lot of depth. You know, somebody goes down and it's unfortunate to see, but there's usually it's that same next man up mentality.
Yep. Now it looks like they're going to help Galloway get off it. I'm not sure if it's his right or his left knee. He's heavily bandaged and got a brace on that left knee. And so it'll bring up 2nd down and 3 here. They'll send the tight end Easter in motion as West in the shotgun will hand off. Slashing through the middle is Patton, and he gets to the line to gain, and I think they're going to give him the first down here. The Chains will move first down of the game for Long Beach City College as they get it across the 37-yard line to the 39, and they'll start 1st and 10 from there here. Just one throw so far for Long Beach, and it was an interception as West overthrew his man. So far, they've kept it on the ground. Just 5 plays, and 4 of them have been running plays. As Patton stays as the feature back, West in the shotgun. Will hand off. Actually, he'll roll it out to his left on an RPO. Throws it downfield. Has a man. It's caught by Bowens behind the defense, and a touchdown-saving tackle. As I think it was Ledoux that knocked him down. And actually there's a flag back here.
Well, this could be another break for the Cougars. And we'll see here on the replay. Interesting play call, just rolls out, looks like he's going, and then just at the last minute flicks it down the field. Our defender never really got turned around and eyes on the ball, I don't think. So we'll see what the flag is. Looks like it's coming back. Tough break for the Vikings, but if you're College of the Canyons. So he was past the line there.
And that actually was the first thing that maybe had crossed my mind. He was very close to the line as we take another look here. And yeah, he's about a half a step ahead. So a tough call goes against Long Beach here. The Cougars get a nice break as he found the seam over the top of Valentine. It was actually Valentine on the coverage. So it'll make it 2nd down and 15 from the 35-yard line of Long Beach here.
Now I'd like to see something here, maybe some sort of a blitz. This is a point that you got them 2nd and long. Lost the momentum on that last play. Going to probably be looking for another chunk here. Let's see what they bring.
So West stays in the shotgun. He wants to roll to his right, throws downfield again, looking for Bowens, and that time it was well out of his reach. And that's his favorite target, Bowens, with 32 receptions on the year. And you'll see that a lot out of West. He'll roll out to his left. That's what Long Beach wants to do with him and have him throw it downfield.
I mean, same type of play, same position on the field. You knew they wanted to go back and get it. Saw the opening there the last time, just didn't work out. So again, 3rd and long. College of the Canyons doing its job so far on the defense.
So they've moved it to 3rd and 14, except for, yeah, they need to get to the 49, so that actually makes sense. It was 2nd and 15 a moment ago, but now it's 3rd and 14. Ball stays at the 35. West will stay in the shotgun. Patton, the lone back with him. He'll roll back to throw. Now wants to move to his left. He's going to tuck it and run here, and he gets tripped up. Good job to come back and get to him, as it was Bradley Brown coming back to get him.
Well, you're going to see a lot of pressure coming backside. I think maybe the officials even missed a hold. Ben Seymour had a full head of steam coming at the guy. So Long Beach lucky to get it out. And here's the punt team again.
So good job from Bradley Brown to come back and make the tackle. Saves a little bit of a dangerous play with the speedy West. And Long Beach will punt it away. Jacob Lemieux back to punt. Cougars with 2 returners standing split between the 30-yard line. One of them is Smith. The other is Elliott. It'll bounce as Elliott's going to let it bounce, and it bounces in the Cougars' favor and stays right about the 28-yard line, and that's where COC will take over for their 3rd possession of the ball game.
And nice pressure on that special teams play. Just a foot or two off maybe, but look for that later in the game.
As we've already talked about the special teams a number of times from COC, and they, again, it's something that Ted Iacenda, now 50 wins under his belt, but it's something he preaches and he likes to really go after, is it's a game-changing situation. We saw it last week. A blocked field goal on special teams really changed the game against Ventura.
And like I said, for these guys that aren't necessarily starters or in the first part of the rotation, this is a chance for them to make their mark on special teams.
They'll go here on 1st down and hand off to Dunn. Patiently finds his way through the middle of the field, broke a couple arm tackles and able to pick up 5 yards. Looked like he didn't have anything and got 5 yards out of it.
And those are tough yards, and that's just exactly what he did last week. I hate to keep bringing up Ventura because we moved past that, but this is kid. Point I'm trying to make is he's a hard runner, not afraid to go up the middle, not afraid to take a hit, bounce off of him, keep his legs turning. So good job, Caden Dunn.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 5, puts the Cougars on schedule here, as Eden now with 2 backs in the backfield with him. Will keep it on an option and tries to bring it through the middle and maybe picked up 2 yards. Got to about the 42-yard line. Tough little option plays. He had 2 backs there, decided to keep it instead of giving it off to Jordan Anderson. And it'll bring up 3rd and short here. So it'll bring up 3rd and short here. 3rd and 2 from about the 37-yard line. Eden will throw, dumps it back off, has done, caught it about the 40-yard line, has a block, breaks it across midfield, stays on his feet inside the 35 before he's finally forced out of bounds by Dallas Burke. Another little good screen pass from Eden to find Dunn.
You know, this is really the bread and butter of this offense, is these short screen passes, timing routes to get our players out in space. Caden Dunn, another big-time play. He's having a game. he seems to have found a rhythm for himself the last couple of weeks, and, you know, why not keep going to him with plays like that?
4 rushes for 68 yards, 2 receptions for 36 so far. The last one a 28-yard reception. The Cougars have a first down. They'll pitch to Dunn. He tries to get the corner. No chance. Good job to get to him. That time by DeAnthony Jones, the linebacker.
Well, Long Beach might have heard us up here talking Caden Dunn's praises and tried to shut that down. But, again, running that offense through him, a tremendous play by the Viking front just to get there and kind of stunt the momentum here a little bit.
And the Cougars trying with a little trickery there. They went with kind of a big house package and decided to go outside of it with Dunn, as they'll get some fresh legs onto the field and Moises Haynes. CUC taking their time. Still 15 seconds on the play clock as they wait for the final play call from Tedai Ascenda on the sideline. Got to go quick here. They've only got 5 to get this play off. Eden will roll to his right immediately, throws. Pass caught by Elliott, cuts it back inside the numbers, and gets to about the 30-yard line. Tackled there from behind by Divine Obishir.
Well, you see him cut him back in and go up the field. Looks like maybe another block he could have been on the way, but again, a guy that made the big-time play last week. See him here, turn upfield. Just one block short, I think he could have found that hole. But again, a nice play. 3rd and 6 is a lot more manageable than what it was.
So we go 3rd and 6 from the 31-yard line here for the Cougars. They still take their time. 10 seconds on the play clock as Eden stays in the shotgun. And a flag movement up front on COC. And I believe it's called on the right tackle, Kadeem Doof. That's indeed who it is. And you can see him just a little twitch, Jesse.
Yeah, just a little flinch, and that's all it takes.
So it'll make it 3rd and 11 here. From the 36-yard line, Zool stays as the feature back. 3 receivers out to the near side for the Cougars. Eden, 3-step drop, looking right, and he's hit in the backfield, sacked. Stripping the ball was Jones, but I think Eden was already down on the floor as Jones tried to run it back. And he was in the backfield before Eden even had a chance.
Yeah, no time at all. And you saw him start to make his progressions and then just had to tuck the ball and hold on to it. That's one of those plays that was going to take a little bit longer to develop. Protection just wasn't there, and that's an unfortunate result for the Cougars.
It was just a blown assignment from Jordan Phillips and Thomas Leboucher. They kind of got mixed up and did not get a body on Jones, so the Cougars will punt it away. Is Brown will stand at about his 40-yard line to kick this one away, and they'll send Zion Bowens back to receive. Bowens dangerous, has a kick return for a touchdown this year. So far, 15 punt returns for 171 yards. Average is 11.4 on the return, but he'll take a fair catch here. Good job by the special teams unit to get to it. And Long Beach will take over at about the 10-yard line. We'll mark it at the 11 here. And they'll get their 3rd possession of the game here. With 3:42 to go in the first quarter. Still 3-0 Cougars. Here on SoCalCollegeSports.com, your home for COC and SCFA football. And later on tape delay on SCVTV.com, or SCVTV20.com, excuse me. Been our partners all year long. We're happy to have them along this year. Rebroadcasting all Cougar home football games as Long Beach goes on 1st and 10 from their own 11-yard line. West will keep this time, rolls to his right, wants to tuck it. He's met in the backfield and just has to dive forward for 3 yards. Good job to even get 3 yards out of that. There was 4 yellow jerseys around him.
I think Jack Schultz is the guy that finally brought him down, but you see there the end is contained, pushes him back. Just kind of tries to dive forward, not much there.
Good call on Schultz making the tackle. It was Thomas that was able to slow him down. West not afraid to tuck it and run. He's a good runner. He's got 54 rushes for 129 yards coming in and 5 touchdowns, so definitely not afraid at 6'1", 190 to tuck the ball. As he throws a little swing pass and it's knocked away. Good job on the defense on the outside by the Cougars, and it'll bring up 3rd down and about 6. I think it was Caleb Johns, the linebacker, in on the first.
I think so. I wasn't able to see the number, but yeah, just turned off his route, smelled that right there, and was able to break it up. Nice job.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 6 here from the 15-yard line. West barking out orders, trying to get his guys in the right position as he wanted Zach Leitz to move over. Leitz the wide out on the near side. West is going to throw, looking to Leitz. He's caught at about the 20-yard line. Good job to bring him down from Latif Adu, and it might be a yard short of the mark. We'll see. No, they wave him forward.
No, great job of breaking down in space and making sure you wrap up and make this tackle here. He beats him. There's a lot of real estate in front of him, so.
And that's tough coverage for Ledoux, as Leitz listed at 6'5", 210. He's a wideout, but think more Rob Gronkowski. He looks like Rob Gronkowski out there. As West will keep it. He wants to throw downfield for Leach, just throws a jump ball. It's caught. He was able to get away from Ledoux inside the 20, kind of looks back at him, throws a hand up, and he's in the end zone for a touchdown, but a flag on the field. I don't know if this one's going to count as a touchdown here for Long Beach due to the physicalness from Leitz there.
I want to say maybe some sort of a taunting call. You saw
yeah,
him
maybe.
Look back and kind of wait for the defender, so to speak, so it might be something there. Didn't see anything in the backfield, but maybe just a little bit of smack talk there.
And he did a great job to muscle away from Latif Adu and just kind of caught the floater pass. As that's a play Long Beach likes to run. They run it a lot. We've seen it many times as we wait on the call here.
I think that's at least 3 times that he's gone to his left down the sideline. So obviously he likes that. That's his tendency. Is just able to, like you said, out-muscle and come up with it there. Let's see what the penalty is. I think it's going to be some sort of a decorum.
I think it's going to, it's got to be enforced off the kickoff. So there you go.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, Long Beach number 17. That 15-yard penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So it's unsportsmanlike conduct on Leitz. He's credited with the touchdown, though. It's a deep play from Leitz out of the hands of West.
Yeah, and a lot of emotion out there. I'm sure he was excited to get in the end zone. I'm sure his coaches will let him know, hey, we don't need to be taking that penalty at this point in the game against this type of opponent.
Yep.
But either way, Long Beach in the end zone takes the lead, early 7-3 lead here.
It's a 79-yard catch and run from Leitz. His second touchdown reception of the year is on to try the extra point as Alfredo Flores. Kick is up and good, so make it 7-3 in favor of Long Beach here with 2:29 to go in the first quarter as they get a big play from Derek West to Zach Leitz to take their first lead of the ball game. So, and it's like we were talking about, something that noticed through watching film was that rollout to the left from West. He has great arm strength and can fire it downfield, but really only does it when he moves to his left, and we'll see if COC can get a hold of that and make an adjustment as the game continues on.
Yeah, you can definitely tell, at least from the early on, that this is that's what he's comfortable doing. And so you don't know if they're doing that here in the first quarter, maybe try and set something up, a reversal of some sort, or but Canyons has got to be aware of it by now. And I think just like everything, they'll look to adjust.
So Jordan Anderson and Lennox Howard will step back to receive for the second time today for the Cougars. As standing at the 20-yard line now to kick it off for Long Beach City College is Christian Lemus, the secondary kicker, as the Cougars will get some good field position out of this one, most likely. As Long Beach with a 7-3 lead, 2:29 to go here in the first quarter. Early on from Cougar Stadium, an SCFA Northern League matchup as it's a low kick. It bounces, picked up by Gilmore at right about the 35-yard line. He's got room to operate. Cuts it outside the numbers, across the 40, inside the 30, and he's pushed out of bounds, but a great return from TQ Gilmore, and the Cougars with great field position to open this possession.
I was going to say, if there's anybody you wanted to field that kick right there, it was TQ Gilmore, and it shows just exactly why. Another explosive play. Has blockers in front of him. I thought for a minute he was going to break this, but does his best. Just one block short there, but does his best getting it up there, and the Cougars are knocking on the door once again.
I think Amari Smith lucky to not get nabbed with a hold there. Let go just in time. Went, oh no, I don't have him. I don't have him.
Not me.
I didn't do it. So good return 45-yard return for Gilmore. Cougars take over 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line of Long Beach. Eden to throw. Swings it outside. Pass caught by Romello Cook. He stays inside the numbers, just outside the left hash. Tries to push the pile forward. It'll go for an 8-yard pickup, though, as it's tough-fought yards from Romello Cook.
Romello Cook, a big target out there at 6'3", 185. Able to get those explosive plays, able to get those hard yards once he catches the ball, the yards after catch. So, again, another target out there. Cougars in the end zone. I wouldn't be surprised if they go to Cook once again here on this drive.
Inside of a minute 50 to go here in the first quarter. Cougars with the ball on the 17-yard line. They'll hand off to Zool. He'll fight for 3 yards and has enough to get the line to gain across the 15-yard line. Another Cougar first down as they move the chains once again. And Zool, the guy, we talk about him all the time. He's the closer. He's the powerful rusher. He's the guy that they want to run through the middle of the field and really just punish the defense if he can.
Yeah, and a great job there waiting, finding his hole. That's what he does. He's a patient runner. He'll sometimes wait and then explode and hit the hole. And when he does, it's electric.
So Cougars wait for the play call here. Eden looks back to the sideline. Will switch Zool over to his left. Stays in the shotgun. 3 receivers out to the near side. He'll fake the handoff to Zool, keeps it himself on a draw play, and gets back to the line of scrimmage. A late flag thrown right to the pile. We'll see what the flag is for.
Well, someone lost their helmet down there.
Yeah. DeAnthony Jones, the first one in on contact for Long Beach City College. Discussion between the officiating crew on what the foul is. We'll wait for the signal here.
Dead ball, personal foul on the offense, number 66. It's a 15-yard penalty for the end of the run. Second down.
Maybe something just in the pile there. These guys get tangled up. There's a lot of pushing, shoving, flopping, falling. And it looks like they just nabbed him with one.
And another penalty sets back the Cougars here. So it'll push him back to 1st and 25, all the way back to the 29-yard line. So they're right back to where they started the drive from, basically. As they'll go here on 1st and a good distance. Eden will roll to his right. Throws downfield. Pass is intercepted. Good job from Dallas Burke to read the throw. And Long Beach gets the turnover. And will take over at the... Did they wave it off?
They're calling that an incomplete pass, Matt.
I thought he caught it.
And so do the Vikings, and we can hear their coaching staff in the box next to us. So do they.
The replay here is inconclusive.
Either way, I think an ill-advised toss by Eden trying to make something out of nothing there on the run. That's tough. We can't tell from there.
And now they've changed their call.
Yeah.
They've went back the other way. The officials talked about it, and it was the far side line judge or the field judge on the back side that said incomplete, but I think all 3 of them on that near side got together and talked about it.
I'll take a look here. Eden takes the ball, just rolls out on the run.
And it's Burke right about the 5-yard line that makes the play. You'll see him dive. And so that one's a little bit more like the call initially was correct. Like he used the ground to secure it.
That's one of the breaks of the game.
Yep.
But again, I think Eden would agree that's a ball he wants back.
Well, and that's kind of the book on Armani so far this year. He does make some ill-advised throws. He's kind of got that gunslinger mentality, Jesse, and that's one of those plays.
And you love that.
As they'll hand off. A good run here for Long Beach as Talon Patton able to get it all the way back across the 40-yard line. Was able to fight off a couple of tackles and drag a couple of Cougars for about 10 yards. A big gain from the 5 all the way out to the 43. So you'll mark it as about a 34-yard gain. And Long Beach wants to go fast. Cougars weren't even set. West rolls to his left, throws, incomplete, flag in the middle of the field. Pass was intended for Bowens, but I'm not sure what the flag is for. No flag. They wave it off. It was the umpire in the middle of the field that threw a late flag. I'm not sure what he threw the flag for.
Just looking at his head position, what he was looking at when he...
Yeah, he kind of reached after the play had already started, and from that position, it almost feels like it would have been a false start flag from where he was at, but It goes as an incomplete pass, so it'll bring up 2nd and 10 from the 43-yard line. Good break for the Cougars on the incompletion as they were a little bit napping, trying to get organized, as Long Beach was trying to go hurry up. West will stay in the shotgun here. He'll hand off this time to Patton, fights the pile forward, still dragging guys, and picks up about 5 yards, gets to about midfield.
And Charles Ike right in the middle of things there, helped to fill that hole. You know, there's a lot of guys in on that tackle, but I think he was the first one there to kind of slow things down a little bit.
Not really a shock. Charles Ike was all around the ball last week, as you talked about, the SCFA Player of the Week with 11 solo tackles. As you said earlier, that would have been enough to get him the tackle mark for the game without any assisted tackles last week, as he finished with 17 total. Long Beach taking their time here, and they'll actually just let the first quarter game clock run out, take a 7-3 lead into the end of the first. A tough second half of that first quarter for the Cougars, I would say, Jesse. They started off well, couldn't put a touchdown on the board, but got 3. But then a big play from Derek West to Zach Leeds gives Long Beach the lead here early.
Really, I mean, 2 sequences there. You miss the opportunity off the turnover to convert for points, and then you give up the big play down the sideline. So nothing to really freak out about yet. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast. You know, Cannons is a team known for making its adjustments, known for settling down and kind of bringing things together at those vital points in the game. So still early on here, a lot of ball game going, but impressive start for the Vikings coming in on the road in what was, you know, we knew was going to be a hotly contested game and a key matchup for this division. They're doing an outstanding job right now.
Man, we said not a team to sleep on. You can't be looking ahead to Bakersfield, who's a longtime rival. You can't be looking ahead to the playoffs because you haven't secured it yet. Yeah, you get a big win last week and you make yourself a really good spot trying to get into the playoffs, but I mean, there's still some work to be done.
Well, and that was last week. You know, we've talked about it on this broadcast. We brought up a few of the highlights, but really, I think for College of the Canyons, you can't rest on your laurels. It's a big win against Ventura, but turn the page. Tonight's the night. Long Beach is the opponent, and let's get it done. And
you really had to know with Brett Peabody, the head coach for Long Beach, they were going to be well prepared for this game, just like the Cougars are. You don't get 50 wins in SCFA football without being a highly prepared team.
Always does a fantastic job, and again, one of these programs that, you know, year in and year out, a tough out. No matter where they end up at the end of the season, you know they're going to be a good program.
We'll have it 3rd and 4 from the 49-yard line. Their own 49 as we start the second quarter here. Need to get to the Cougar 46 for a first down as West with 5 wide here to open on 3rd and 4. Starting this second quarter. Short drop, throws, pass, caught by Leitz, enough for the first down. Cougars trying to rip the ball loose. Leitz drives the pile ahead and gets all the way up to about the 32-yard line. Good movement by Leitz. And again, we talked about him. It's Gronk. He looks like Gronk.
Well, right there, you know, none the truer. You got 3 or 4 Cougars all trying to punch, pull, rip, get the ball out, and he takes them another 6 yards. So one of those weapons out there, a young physical kid doing a great job tonight.
And it's Latif Adu that has drawn the assignment against him tonight. It's going to be a tough assignment for him for most of the night as Leitz lines up on the far side this time as Long Beach switches things up. They'll hand off. Actually, they'll throw on an option, and a good job to break it up. As coming across the middle was Jakvuka Bradovic, I think, that time to make the play.
Yeah, I think read this and just came up. You're going to see meets the receiver right when the ball gets there and is able to knock it down.
It's a good read from Jock, too, because he had me fooled. I thought West gave it to Patton, pulled it out at the last second.
Yeah, Jock does a lot out there. He's a roamer. He can come up and lay the hat if he needs to. He's great in coverage, one of our leaders out there.
31 tackles, give him a pass breakup on that one. Now has 7 on the year to lead the team. It'll bring up 2nd and 10 here. West will look at the sidelines. Delays for just a couple more seconds. Has 5 on the game clock here. Will step back to throw. Dumps it off. Pass caught by Patton. Ike in there to make the hit along with Adu, and they knock him out of bounds at right about the 26-yard line. So it'll bring up 3rd down, and we'll call it about 5 once again.
And look at Charles Ike just flying around.
Everywhere. He's everywhere.
The middle of the field all the way to the sideline, just kind of streaking across. And I talked to Coach Iacenda after last week's game. He said this is just an old-school, gritty, hard-working linebacker. He's out there. He makes all the calls. He makes all the shifts for really a coach and a true leader out there on the field.
When they go with 4 linebackers a lot, do the Cougars. This time they're going with 3. Salazar, Ike, and Caleb Johns, the linebackers, as they go after West here. He's got plenty of time. Good pass, caught, and another first down for Long Beach as they once again move the chains. This time the pass was caught by Dominic Wingfeld for a first down.
You know, I think Canyons just brought a little bit of extra pressure, slid down and kind of brought it off the edge there, and that's what allowed that opening there in the middle. Salazar got the tackle, but you saw the receiver just come and kind of sit down in that area.
It's another first down, 1st and 15. So Long Beach inside the red zone this year, 59%. Cougars' red zone defense has struggled. They've allowed points on 66% of the chances in the red zone, but haven't given up a lot of touchdowns generally. As they try to get to West, he's able to escape, flushed out of the pocket, goes towards the 10, and good job from Charles Ike to come up and knock him down short of the 10-yard line. He picks up about 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down at about 6.
Not a surprise at all, but it looked like Ike just saw him and bolted forward. So
remember, he's the middle linebacker too, so he's coming a long way every single time.
Just a motor like no other out there. Runs, and hits and makes plays.
As we talk about it almost every week, the Cougars are stacked at linebacker. But Johns, Salazar, Ike, Thomas, Richardson, Tarifa, all 6 are going to play. All 6 are going to make some sort of an impact in just about every game. As they shift here a little bit, West on 2nd and 7 will keep this time, rolls to his left, has to throw it away, and that one bounced. He had to get rid of it, or Charles Ike was going to take him down 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
I mean, what is that, about the 3rd or 4th play in a row?
Yep.
We're calling out Charles Ike's name. You see him. Salazar and Ike both come up. Ike's is the one that just keeps his head down and just a step off the pace.
I think Salazar is the one that flushes him initially, got inside.
2 local kids out of Hart High School
Yep.
here out doing big things for the Cougars.
Well, and we saw him do this when they played for Hart together, just run amok on the defensive side of the football. As it'll bring up 3rd and 7 from the 12-yard line. 7-3 in favor of Long Beach here in the second quarter. West in the shotgun with Patton to his right. 3 receivers out to the far side. High snap, has to try and escape, and this time he's taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Credit Benjamin Seymour, able to get there first. Bradley Brown also in on it as well.
Benjamin Seymour leading the Cougars. That's his 8.5 sack this year. Local kid, another local kid out of Valencia. Just one of those guys, a little bit undersized, but has a motor like no other. Gets after the quarterback, does a lot of great things in the run game, and he's excited out there, getting a lot of hugs and high fives. That was a big-time play for the Cougars.
It's a big play. Now makes this field goal for Alfredo Flores a pretty tough one. It's a 50 or 40-yarder, excuse me. He hit it from right about the 30 on the right hash. Flores this year hasn't made one outside of 39 yards, so this will be his longest of the season should he hit it. Cougars showing like they're going to bring a lot of pressure, want to get to him. Flores puts it up. Kick is good through the uprights. Good leg from Flores, and it'll give Long Beach a touchdown lead. They'll lead 10-3 here with 11:33 to go in the second quarter.
Well, if you're the Vikings, you're absolutely happy with that. You're not thrilled, but that's okay. You put more points on the board. Again, you kind of continue to set the tone of this game. Some nice plays by the Cougar defense, but still lacking that big play. You know, Seymour's sack had the potential to be that if he was able to push him back a little bit farther. But again, nothing lost. Ed and company are going to come back out here after the return. We'll see if we can't get it going. This has been a good ball game so far.
And I think you're never happy if you put points on, if you allow points on the board. But I think in that instance, with the opposition inside the red zone, to force them to a long field goal, like, you've got to be pretty happy with that, right?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. And like I said, you know, the big sack there, maybe you get Seymour going. Ike's already going. Salazar's made some plays. Johns is out there running around. Bradley was in on that last play. So, again, regardless of the result there, you're getting these guys going. You're getting them in a groove. And there's a lot of time left.
Starting to look a lot more like the defense from last year. They're starting to find a little bit more teeth as we get later in the season here, and that's good to see. Is this one kicked off, and a low line drive kick, taking it right about the 5-yard line by Anderson. He'll run to his left, has some blockers out in front, across the 30-yard line, cuts it back inside the numbers, and a good tackle to save another big return all the way out towards the 39-yard line. Good return for the Cougars. I want to credit Isaiah Hobson with the tackle.
And look at TQ Gilmore out here. Got the return the last time, and this time out returning the favor, throwing a block. So
Lennox Howard out in front of him as well, throwing a block.
These special teams units, we said it before, these guys want to try and make their mark on this game. Sometimes that's the opportunity.
And it's an even bigger return now as Long Beach was offside on the kickoff. It's enforced on the end of the kick, so the Cougars will move the ball across the 40-yard line to the 33 here, as the original spot was at about the 37. It's a 5-yard penalty. And they'll go 1st and 10 from the 43. Offense hasn't really found its full rhythm yet. Just 3 points on the board so far. A turnover on their last possession. This time they'll throw back. Eden steps up, throws over the middle. Pass caught by Amari Smith at the 30-yard line, and he goes out of bounds at the 25. Great little call from the Cougars on that throwback. Eden did a great job to step up and find the open receiver in Amari Smith.
Oh, a nice play call. And you see things get a little congested here in the pocket. Eden looks to throw, steps up, looks again. And there it is, opening right between 3 defenders. That's a big play, big chunk yardage, and the Cougars are here again in Viking territory.
Credit the big boys up front. Gave him just enough time to get the throw off. A good job from Smith on the route to cut across and find the open space as Eden will roll to his right. Now wants to spin. He has to get away from some pressure. Has room. Now will dump it off. Pass is caught by the tight end, Clemens. He spins and gets inside the 10-yard line before he's pushed out of bounds. And another Cougar first down.
Oh, I'd love to see it. Once again, Armani Eden responding after the turnover on his previous drive. Out there running around. Nice backside block by Kadeem Doof to allow that play to extend a little bit further. And then just finds his man. Big target down there.
Oh, and it's going to come back. The Cougars had an ineligible man downfield.
After all that, I think it might have been one of those lines.
Yeah, I think they just got a little bit too far ahead of the play. And it's...
that's the trick.
Yep.
You got a quarterback that can take off like that. You want to continue your block, sustain the block downfield, but you got to beware. This is a guy that might decide to just flick it, instead of taking off with the run. So a tough break there. But I like the momentum. I like the play call.
So it'll push him back to the 30-yard line. It'll be 1st down and 15. They need to get to the 15-yard line. So the play wiped out. It would have been Clemens' 6th catch of the year and would have been his longest of the season. Instead, they'll swing it out here on 1st and 15. Smith in space gets back to the 30, and that's it. Not much room for Amari Smith. Good to see him get another target. He's a good young man. I told you the story beforehand. I actually saw him in the Lancaster Walmart a couple of weeks ago after a win against, I think, ELAC. And very nice young man. Yes, sir, no, sir. He's got a fan in me for pretty much the rest of his career. I hope he keeps having a good one on the field here tonight.
Great to see him getting those opportunities. Again, the Cougar receiving corps, much like its backfield, a lot of names out there, a lot of dudes that can make some plays. So to see him getting involved is awesome.
Eden will throw here. Wanted to throw towards Smith over the middle, and I think he actually threw it between both Henderson and Smith. Never really had a good intention on the target, and he'll bring up 3rd and 14. So a penalty just about derailing this drive again for the Cougars. I think it was intended for Henderson at the last second. He had let it go already, was thinking Amari Smith, and actually was trying to hold it back to get it to Henderson, who was wide open.
So this is a big play here. You don't want to see this drive stall out here. 3rd and long, had the penalty to already bring it back. Important for the Cougars to try and sustain this right here.
They bring in 2 backs this time with both Zool and Dunn on 3rd and 14 from the 29-yard line. Eden wants to throw, steps up in the pocket. Now will tuck it and run across the 20, drugged down from behind, and that time I believe a horse collar tackle is going to be called. Both the official, the head referee, the white hat, and the far side official with flags on the field.
So again, that first one that was questionable in the quarter, you saw it looked like the pull came right around the number and just got a hold and slung him down. This one was a little bit higher up on the back, and I think that's why you're going to get the penalty. Although the officials huddled here, they're talking about it. They've already picked up 2 flags. Could they be looking for a 3rd?
That one looks way more dangerous with 2 hands.
Yeah,
there.
Especially the way he spun around, and that's what that rule is trying to prevent, is the player being...
So there's multiple fouls here. Okay.
We'll start there.
So we'll do it again on 3rd down. So the Cougars had an illegal formation call against them. That was the I guess there was a flag on the near side of the field. Was that what you were trying to tell me, Emery? That's what Emery was trying to tell me. I was trying to figure out what he was pointing at, our director, Emery Johnson, hollering at us with his hands. And then the horse collar tackle indeed called as well. So it'll go again, 3rd and 14 from the 29. 9:55 ticking inside of that now here in the second quarter. 10-3 in favor of the Vikings. Cougars dump it off, and it's picked off. Another tough throw from Ed, and this time was just trying to find his man in a slot, and it's his second interception here in the first quarter, or the first half, and it's DeAnthony Jones on the interception.
Honestly, Matt, I don't think he saw him.
Nope.
I think he was right there. He was trying to go to Caden Dunn. DeAnthony Jones was kind of just hidden there and stepped out in front of that ball. That's a tough break.
And another drive stalls out for the Cougars, and it starts with the penalty, the illegal man downfield, which is a tough call to take.
That's why they say penalties will kill you, literally and figuratively.
And this was a problem a week ago. This was a problem a week before that in the first half. A lot of penalties, something they cleaned up going into the second half. So now you ask the defense once again to get the job done. Field position at the 35-yard line of Long Beach. They take over 1st and 10 with West in the backfield in the shotgun. Patton to his left. He'll hand off to Patton this time. He breaks a tackle in the backfield, gets across the 40, still dragging guys across the field, and gets across the 45 to about the 46 and a half. First down, good run from Talon Patton.
Well, it looked like Jack Schultz had him in the backfield. Like you said, just kept things moving, was able to progress up the field, get enough. But you know, Matt, this game eerily reminiscent of last week's first half with the 2 turnovers from Eden, leading to points, a couple key penalties that hurt the Cougars, so want to try and nip that in the bud right here.
Long Beach goes quickly. West wants to throw downfield pass, caught by Leeds. He was just able to get away from Charles Ike, who was trying to force him out, and it's another Long Beach first down. They move it across midfield and all the way up to the Cougar 40-yard line.
I tell you what, Ike has been just a step or a half a step off these guys a couple times. You see, still makes the quarterback hit, takes him down. As this game gets later and the Vikings start to slow down a little bit, look for Ike. He's not going to lose a step. Yeah,
especially West having to roll out of the pocket multiple times so far today. He's great on the run, but the more times you knock him down, the harder it's going to get later in the game as they run here on 1st and 10. Not much room for Patton that time as he gets back to the line of scrimmage, and that is about it. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10.
I think I saw Jack Schultz getting up after the bottom of that pile, so another great job by him. Providing pressure tonight and playing the run, and that's really what we ask these Cougar defensive linemen to do, is be versatile, play both ways. So.
And Jack's a guy that really stepped up when AP went down early in the season with that concussion, and he has just kept it rolling as the year has gone on.
Absolutely. One of our captains and one of our guys that, you know, maybe doesn't get a lot of the headlines, but is a vital part in this defensive front.
So we'll go here on 2nd and 10 from the 41-yard line. West wants to throw. The officials going to both throw flags, so this play will not turn into anything nearly was an interception. Chase Edward Morgan just overran it. So you almost had the interception. It would have been a big one. Instead, it's just a holding penalty, so it'll back Long Beach up a little bit here.
You're going to see Arian Peebles come around the end and just raise his hand like, can you guys not see that? Blatantly held, still almost gets there. I think there's a second hold right there on Jonathan Thomas, but AP is the one that stood out to me, especially even as far up here in the booth as we are.
John Thierry going to be called for the holding penalty, the freshman, 6'2", 347, and it's a tough mark for him against AP, who runs like the wind, is swift and a big, strong young man at 6'3", 290.
Holding, number 77, that penalty declined. Illegal forward pass, number 3. That's a 5-yard penalty. Lost it down. 3rd down.
So there's actually 2 flags. Another illegal forward pass. That's the second time today against West. And that one results in a 5-yard penalty and a loss of down. So the Cougars will push them back 5 yards and make it 3rd and 15 here from about the 45-yard line. So you take the 5 yards and the loss of down. Easy decision for Ted Iacenda.
Absolutely. It sets up another big play here. Got to get off the field.
Got to get to about the 31-yard line, so it's actually 3rd and 14, as it's like halfway between the 45 and the 46-yard line. West standing at right about midfield, taking his time with 4 on the play clock. Will step back to pass, short drop, throws over the middle, caught by Leeds, has room to move, gets across the 30, another Long Beach first down, as Leeds, the big wideout, able to find some space and then just gallops across the 30-yard line.
I think just comes across the middle here, and there's an opening for whatever reason. Probably a little bit too much pursuit upfield by the Cougar defense, able to find that opening, and again, extending this drive for the Vikings.
As they keep possession here, clock inside of 7:45 in the first half. West in the shotgun with Patton behind him. He'll keep, throws to his right. Pass is caught on the near side. Not much room to operate, though, for Genki Mori, as he gets maybe back to the initial line of scrimmage. Yeah, that's where they say he's at. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10. So a lot of receivers finding their way into the game so far today for Long Beach. Actually, it might have been Zachariah Dolphin. It's either Maury or Dolphin, can't tell. The numbers are tough to read from Long Beach today with the gray on white. As they'll keep here on the ground. Patton able to fight his way across the 25 to about the 23 before he's brought down. Ike was in on the initial hit. He gets up a little slow.
Ike was out there, and I think I saw Taylor Lewis out of Chicago coming in, getting those big arms around the ball carrier.
So it'll make it 3rd and 7 as he gets to the 24-yard line is the spot. So 3rd and 7 from the 24 here for Long Beach. Important play for the Cougar defense once again, trailing by 7. West stays in the shotgun. 3-step drop, wants to throw. Pump fakes, then throws it to the near sideline. Pass was incomplete. There's a flag in the middle of the field. The umpire put the flag on the field. So we'll wait and see what the signal is. And I think it is, yeah. It's in the area of a hold. Cougars are going to decline it, I believe, if I saw Ted Iasenda's hands correctly. And it'll force 4th down and 7 here from the 24-yard line. And I believe the field goal unit will trot back on the field for Long Beach once again. As this time for Flores, it'll be about a 47-yarder. Nope, again, another 40-yarder, sorry. I'm waiting to see 41-yarder. So this would now be his longest of the year. He just hit a 40-yarder a few moments ago. As Lemieux, the holder here. Flores from the right hash, good already from the right hash from 40. This one a yard further. Cougars pin their ears back, try to get the block. Flores puts it up, and this time the kick is no good. He hooked it to the left, and the Cougars get a much-needed stop here with 6:10 to go in the first half. The score remains 10-3 in favor of Long Beach.
And really now an important drive for the Cougar offense. Amari Eden, a couple mistakes, a couple passes he's going to want back. I think maybe the key here is you go back to Caden Dunn. He started so hot in that first drive. He's really been the guy that's moved the chains for us and also provided those explosive plays. So I'd like to see Coach Isenda go back to him, use that to set up maybe another one of those deep balls or one of those screen passes that the Cougars are so well known for.
And it's interesting because they did. They went very much away from it on the last 3 drives, and it's resulted in a couple of interceptions. One, a good play by the defense. Another, just a gunslinger throw from Eden. As it'll be Zool in the backfield with him this time. They go right back to Eden to throw. Dumps off the screen. Caught by Elliott, but met in the backfield, and he's going to lose 3 yards on the play. Good job by the Long Beach defense to read the screen pass well.
You said it absolutely right. They read that from the moment they lined up. And again, that's a bread and butter player of this Cougars offense, so it makes sense that they would have seen it, but to be able to execute and snuff that out like that, that's a good job by the Vikings.
And you know the Cougars do want to go to it a lot because they have guys like Dunn, they have guys like Henderson, Smith, Elliott, Gilmore, who are all very good in space.
Yeah, exactly right. It's about getting those guys out in space, maybe creating some misdirection and letting their athleticism do the rest.
So they'll go 2nd and 13 here, 5 wide, Dunn. High snap, just going to tuck it and run himself across the 30. Fights his way to about the 40-yard line. I think they're going to spot him a yard short of that, but he gets to the line again, a first down for the Cougars. Good vision from Dunn, or Ed in that time, to see the high snap and just take off.
And he has that ability. I mean, I think he'll tell you he's a throw-first guy and stick within this offense, but when it breaks down and he has to make moves with his legs, he can do it, as shown right there.
And that's exactly what my notes say. He's not a tuck-and-run guy. No. He can be if he needs to be, but he's absolutely not. He's more of a gunslinger than anything. As another Cougar first down, they move the ball to the 34-yard line. sixth first down of the game for the Cougars. Eden wants to throw here on 1st and 10. Throws over the middle, but it was behind Amari Smith. Smith just didn't get his head snapped around, was wide open. And I think if Eden leads him a little bit more, that might go for a Cougar touchdown. Late flag on the field, and I think that's going to come against Long Beach for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, as it's right about where the Long Beach defense stands.
Yeah, there was a little bit of chatter there. I think they caught, I can't tell if that's Sewell or Jordan Anderson, but there was some jawing going back and forth, a couple face masks pressed up against each other. And I think that's what they got him for. So Canyons will take it if it's indeed that's the call.
We have a dead ball, unsportsmanlike, on Long Beach.
Yep.
Number 4. That's a
And it's against Anthony Jones, who's made a few big plays so far today. The sophomore out of Lutzinger High School. Gives the Cougars a first down. It moves the ball up to the 49-yard line. So the chains move. Good break for the Cougars. Much needed after they've derailed their own drives with a couple of penalties themselves.
And a second unsportsmanlike decorum type issue, that's one that'll kill you as a head coach.
Yep.
The things that you don't want your players doing, especially with a lead and against a team as explosive as College of the Canyons. So I'm sure he'll get a talking to on the sideline.
And actually the white hat over to talk to Peabody right
Explaining probably what he said or what was, muttered as he walked away.
Yeah.
But at this level, there's so many things that can draw an infraction. So good job for the officials to keep a heads out for that.
Not sure Brett Peabody's happy about the call, but he just marches back to the sidelines to talk to Jones here. And we go 1st and 10 from the 49-yard line of the Cougars. They hand off to Zool. He cuts it back to his right. Stays inside the hash, spins, and gets enough yardage to maybe get to the marker. We'll wait and see on what the signal is. He might be a half a yard short.
But regardless, a nice progression there, a nice run. Little spin move there at the end, always looking for an extra yard, an extra step.
So it'll be 2nd down and a short one. They need to get to, really the chains are right where the ball is. It's probably about 2 inches here. So 2nd and 1 from the 41. I'm honestly surprised they're not measuring this.
And now maybe they will.
Ted, I send it down the sideline going, you're wasting time on the clock right now. What are we doing? And now they move the spot back actually 1 yard. So now it's 2nd and a full 1. So they've got the spot where they like it. It'll leave 4:01 to go here. Eden will toss on the inside, a forward pass, a shovel pass to Zool. Good enough for a first down. We saw that play last week a couple of times from the Cougars. A new little wrinkle from the offense, and picks up enough yardage for a first down.
Well, it really fits in with the screen packages that the Cougars have. If you can get a guy coming across and just kind of flick it right there, there's usually an opening. You see Thomas Lebachet, Azad Marcruzian.
As they go quick here on first down, Zool runs right up the middle, gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe push the pile 2 yards ahead to the 35-yard line. And it'll bring up 2nd down at about 8. He'll give him 2 yards on the play.
So time ticking down here, Matt. I think it's imperative the Cougars get some points here on the board.
Yep.
No more turnovers. You don't want to see this thing stall out.
Remember, Long Beach gets the ball after the half, too.
And plenty of time, to go run or pass, whatever you want. Looks like they're sticking with Cyrus Zool out there.
As Eden stays in the shotgun, Zool, the lone back, picks up the block. Eden's pass caught by Smith, spins around at the 30-yard line. Good job to dive forward. Might have got to the line to gain, as he's about maybe a yard short, right about to the 29, maybe 28-yard line. Another catch for Amari Smith, his 3rd of the day here. And it'll leave the Cougars 3rd and about a yard short of the mark to gain. Eden will stay in the shotgun here. 3 receivers out to the near side. Zool, the lone back in the backfield. They'll give to Zool. He's met in the backfield, and he's not going to get the yards he needed. Brought down behind the line of scrimmage. Great job by the Long Beach defense to get to him, and it'll leave 4th and short for the Cougars here. Decision time for Ted Iacenda. And they actually moved him back to the 30, so it'll make it about 4th and 4. And again, decision time for the Cougars. Flags are not blowing right now. I think they're going to go for it. As Coach Iacenda wants the first down, says he needs points on the board here.
Well, I have a feeling they've got a play in mind for just this type of situation. If you're going to leave Tanner Brown, a guy with his caliber, out on the bench, you've got to have something here.
On 4th and 4, Eden, short drop. Throws and another interception. Again, this time DeAnthony Jones makes the play, goes up to get it with his big bare paws, and the third turnover in the first half by Armani Eden.
Again, I just don't think he sees him. He's quick to make the throw. Defender jumps up, and you can see Eden just shoulder slump. He wants that one back just like the first two. That's an unfortunate turnover for the Cougars, especially at this point in the game.
And again, the offense just kind of sputters and gives Long Beach the ball with 1:50 to go here in the first half. 10-3 in favor of the Vikings. It has been a tough sledding here at Cougar Stadium for the COC offense. And again, you're asking the defense to once again get the job done here and keep Long Beach off the board if possible. As West back out here for Long Beach in the shotgun. Has the lone back Patton to his right. Will step back to throw. Dumps it off. Pass caught by Patton at the 30-yard line. Gets away from one tackle. Met then by Charles Ike, who comes across on pursuit and knocks him down, but not before a gain of 6.
The Vikings going to be in their hurry up here. Just a minute 35 to go. And you're really looking for your defense to rally here. A big turnover and interception, some sort of return would be huge. Can't allow the Vikings to get in the end zone again.
Cougars not organized. Plenty of time for West to throw. Now he'll run towards his left, looking downfield. Now will throw it, and this time just throws it out of bounds. Good job in coverage that time by the Cougars, as Trey Villar was downfield marking his man to make sure that West didn't have an open lane to throw.
Yeah, great job in coverage, and also the pursuit to be able to not let him just tuck it and run and get this first down here. You see there's bodies around him. Coverage is there down the field, and he just ends up flinging it. Nowhere to go.
So to bring up second down and about 5, they need to get to about the Long Beach 43-yard line for a first down. Ball spotted at about the 38. West in the shotgun. Looking, throws over the middle, passes dropped. It was intended for Dominic Wingfeld, and he just felt the footsteps coming a little bit late. Not much he could do with two Cougars around him.
So again, a huge down here.
Look who's there again on the play. It's Charles Ike. I mean, you almost don't need anybody else in the field at this point. He's made just about every play for the Cougars. It's been quite impressive. As it brings up 4th and 5, Long Beach going to punt this one away. So a good job from the Cougar defense. They did what they needed to do. Got a 3 and out. Will get the ball back in the offense's hands with about 60 seconds to go here in the first half.
And that's plenty of time for this offense. You want to make sure you secure this punt. No mishaps here. Try and get whatever kind of return you can, and then let the offense go back out there. Try and get some momentum heading into the locker room.
Lemieux to kick it away, but there's a whistle. And a delay of game call against Long Beach, so they'll back up 5 more yards. I was going to say initially watch for the fake here, but I think with the delay of game, that pretty much takes that play completely out of the playbook here for Long Beach, as you don't want to turn a ball over and give the Cougars even better field position.
Always got to watch it, but at this point of the field, you'd be rolling the dice there.
Smith and Elliott back to receive. Lemieux's kick blocked by the Cougars. It bounces at the 30. It's recovered there, but the Cougars will get the football. In on the block was
I want to say that was Avi
Harris. Yes,
43.
exactly.
Big time play for the Cougars and exactly what this team needed. Turn the field around, a minute to go. Cougars looking. And again, we talked about the special teams play, and there it was, coming through, making a big-time impact on this game. You see the sideline going crazy. Awesome play, Cougars.
And this is exactly the thing that happened against Ventura last week. Special teams makes a big play. Now the Cougar offense back on the field with the ball at the 30-yard line. A fresh set of downs and 60 seconds to work. We'll see what they dial up here with Armani Ed and Caden Dunn in the backfield with him.
I think on first down, you go for it right here.
Absolutely.
Try and get it, put the pedal on the gas.
As Ed, short drop, has plenty of time, throws, pass, caught by Smith, spins it back inside the numbers, cuts to his left. Now looking for a block, has a block upfield by Eden and gets across the 15. Inside the red zone, the Cougars go with 53 seconds and another first down.
Oh, he's a gamer right there. You saw the throw and then races upfield to get the block. He's excited out there. Number 7, you maybe don't want your quarterback throwing the lead block, but we'll take it. You know he wants to help his team get those points back, atone for the mistakes earlier on. And here we go, 53 seconds to go. Cougars knocking on the door.
Made sure Dallas Branch could not get to Amari Smith, who now has another catch to his numbers. Eden going to throw over the middle again. Pass caught inside the 5, right to the goal line. They're going to be down at the 1 yard line. It's Alonzo Henderson on the catch.
Of course, going right back to his main man, Alonzo Henderson, known for his big plays. Stopped just short, and I bet you if this was the NFL, he might have been in there if we got another look, but no matter. Plenty of time left. Bringing in a couple extra offensive linemen here, so look for this big package.
That big house package looks like it's coming out. All the big boys out on the field here for the Cougars on the 1 yard line. Great pass from Ed, 2 really good throws after that last interception.
Letting the clock tick. You want to make sure you get this last play here and make sure it's a scoring play.
And Ted Iacenta takes the timeout with about 10 seconds to go on the play clock. He marches out to about the 20-yard line. I'm not sure if it's an angry timeout or just I knew I wanted that timeout. We were taking a little bit too much time to get onto the field. It's okay.
I think a little bit of both. You know, you send out a new package out there. You want to make sure everyone's on the same page. You're not going to get another chance at this with just 22 seconds in the half. So make sure everyone's on the same page. They know the play call. Let's punch it in there, tie this ball game up.
Take another look at this play from Eden. This was the last one that got all the way down to the 1 yard line on the pass to Alonzo Henderson. And another good job from the offensive line to protect. Good vision, puts it right where Henderson can get it.
Oh,
I
think he's in there.
I don't know. I think he's going to come down right on the soccer, the top box on the soccer yardage there. Yeah, he's about a half yard short on the replay.
Maybe I was a little anxious there. I always want to see those Cougars get in. But regardless, plenty of time here, and look for the Cougars to punch it in. This is a big-time play here.
So they come with all the big boys out on the field. I think the spot is unfortunate. I think he's actually should be about at the half-yard line. Instead, he's right at the 1 here. The big body's out onto the field. Eden under center. A rare spot for him. Long Beach going to load the line here. Done the lone back. They'll hand off, and he's into the end zone for a Cougar touchdown.
Tremendous job and just a huge opening off the right side. Caden Dunn scampers in there, nearly untouched. Look at this.
I mean, look at that. 1, 2. Every big body in the field is out there. 10 guys on the line of scrimmage.
Marcosian pulls, kicks the end, and it's just a whole truck could run through there.
I could run through there. So it puts the Cougars back within 1, pending the extra point from Tanner Brown, who rarely misses an extra point. When I say rarely, he missed 1 last week, and that's the first time in his career. Puts this one up, hammers it through, as to be expected. 87 of 88. There is a flag on the field, though, and I think it's going to be roughing the kicker penalty in where the location is. I would imagine Ted Iacenta takes the point, though, and takes the tie game into halftime.
Don't want to mess around with that. Mentioned Tanner Brown. Had a amazing streak come to an end last week. Was perfect on PATs through 19 games of his Cougar career. Missed one against that game in Ventura. And what did he do? Went out back the next time and set a new streak. So that's now 4 in a row. He is now, I believe,
87 of 88 in his career.
Tremendous job, Tanner. And hats off to you for that accomplishment.
Yeah, that's what he said. Rarely misses one. We saw it last week. I was actually watching from home, and I told you before the game, I was confused. COC scored a touchdown. I'm looking at the scoreboard. I turned my head. I came back, and I was like, wait, where's the extra point?
Well, for us on the sidelines watching that, it was kind of same reaction, kind of a head scratch. Like, what? Did that really happen?
It's especially with a guy like Tanner. It's almost a throwaway play. You expect him to nail it through. So
I was going to say that just speaks to the talent of that young man, where it's just assumed when he goes out there that you're going to convert.
So the Cougars get a big touchdown before the end of the first half. 20 seconds to play here in the first half. Brown will kick it away from the 45-yard line. Bowen standing right about his own 5-yard line. As a whistle now from...
And Matt, really important here not to break down in your coverage here on this kickoff. You don't want to let Long Beach steal the momentum, flip things around here on us. So I think as long as everyone stays in their lanes, breaks down, good clean tackling, should be okay. 20 seconds to go.
Bowens is a guy that can break one if needed. Brown will just kick it short. Long Beach will take it at about the 20-yard line. It's the tight end for Long Beach trying to return it back. It was TJ Easter, and he's able to get it back across the 30. And that's where he's taken down. That's where Long Beach will take over. That was almost more dangerous than kicking it deep.
Well, and you saw Avi Harris come in there and make another big-time tackle. Venture to say that's not the guy that's used to returning kicks, so an opportunity to have him cough up that ball or commit another turnover. Avi Harris, though, back-to-back big plays on special teams. That young man's having a night.
And it's a good kick, too. It takes 6 seconds off the clock. It leaves Long Beach with just 14 before the end of the first half. Remember, the Vikings will get the ball back after halftime. The game is tied at 10 after the Caden Dunn touchdown. First touchdown of the night for the Cougar offense. 6th rushing touchdown for Caden Dunn this season. As West will hand off. Patton able to get away at first, and a good job from the ground from the Cougar defensive line to wrap him up. It was Caleb Johns on the initial tackle, I believe. Actually, maybe Jonathan Thomas, pardon me. And that will end the first half. A late touchdown from the Cougars has tied the game at 10. We're going to head to the break. 10-all between the Cougars and the Vikings here on SoCal College Sports, your home for Cougar football. Welcome back into Cougar Stadium. Matt Robinson, Jesse Munoz here with you as we get you ready for second half action between the College of the Canyons Cougars and the Long Beach City College Vikings. Jesse, an interesting first half, we'll say. Cougars started off well, got an interception early, got a defensive turnover, couldn't quite put a touchdown on the board, had a 3-0 lead for a little while. Long Beach really had the better of that middle chunk, but a late touchdown from Caden Dunn really has turned the game over back to a 10-10 score.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple mishaps, like you said, and with the turnovers, but really closed out the half strongly. And, you know, again, looking back at weeks past, Cougars have been known for making the halftime adjustment, going in there, kind of rallying the troops, so to speak, rallying around each other, acknowledging the mistakes and acknowledging the need for better execution. So I would look for more of that in the second half, but a nice turn of events here in the last couple of minutes there to close things out.
And it's not like the Cougars have not had the ball for plenty of time. 16 minutes on the time of possession. They're beating Long Beach in that respect, who's only had the ball for about 13 minutes. First downs right about even as well. Cougars with 11, Long Beach with 9. And really, it's been a pretty even game. Long Beach with 285 total yards, the Cougars with 213. So, I mean, you're not happy if you're the COC defense 285 yards against, but that bend don't break mentality. Sure. They do their job. They get a big special teams play and get a touchdown out of it late in the half.
Yeah, a lot of ball game to go. I mean, and credit to the Vikings for coming in here on the road. What we knew was going to be a hotly contested game and really a battle for this Northern League. And so far they've done a great job. Some mishaps of their own, a couple penalties. You know, I think both of these teams spent the first half feeling each other out, trying to get into a rhythm. So it'll be interesting to see how things play out here. But a lot of ball game left, and this is going to be a good one, Matt.
Yeah, it's absolutely going to be a good one as we're just about ready to go here for the second half. We look at some of the offensive numbers for each side. Derek West, 10 of 20 for 209 yards, a touchdown and an interception. Delon Patton, 7 carries, 63 yards, averaging 9 yards a carry right now. He took over for Saeed Galloway, who came out of the game after an injury. Zach Leeds, the best receiver so far for Long Beach, 5 receptions for 36 yards, and a touchdown. Cougars on the other side, Armani had 13 of 20, not bad numbers, but 3 interceptions, no touchdowns, just 125 yards. That's tough. Caden Dunn, 6 carries, 65 yards. And Amari Smith, the best receiver for the Cougars right now, 4 receptions for 56 yards. Those are just some of the offensive numbers. The defensive ones look a little bit different as well. Right now, Charles Ike, who we talked about him all game long, Jesse, 8 tackles, leading the way for the Cougars and leading everybody on the field right now with 8 tackles. And he's been very good. And then DeAnthony Jones with 2 interceptions right now for Long Beach has kind of been the difference on their defensive side. Yeah,
a lot of guys trying to put their mark on this game. Avi Harris with a couple big special teams play, had the block kick. For College of the Canyons, though, I'd like to see the offense go back to Caden Dunn. You know, 6 carries so far, had that big 52-yard game. It's really been the bulk of his production. But again, it was kind of a similar story last week. They went to him early. He had some big plays. Also has hauled in a couple passes here tonight. So I think the Cougars, remember, Long Beach will get the ball first here. But I think the Cougars, when they get back on offense, look for them to go back to that run game, get Caden Dunn better established. And for Amari Eden, look for him to respond as he has done throughout this season. A couple mistakes. You know, I'm sure he wants them back, but this is a very resilient kid and a very resilient team, Matt, that has a knack for rallying around each other. They have a lot of faith in each other and their abilities. And so it's fun to see how that translates out on the field.
And you talk about the response. We saw it at the end of that first half. A blocked punt by Avi Harris, and Armani Eden comes right out after just having thrown an interception and fires the ball downfield a couple of times, sets up a Caden Dunn touchdown run from a yard out.
Well, you talked about it earlier, that gunslinger mentality. Okay, you missed that one, right back up, let's do it again. So
And I want to give personally, I think Coach Jedediah Senda has done a great job of going right back to him, saying, I don't care that you threw an interception. Throw the ball again. Get it right. And I think that's a big thing and a good pressure to put on the young man. As you can tell, he's not fazed by much. As the Cougars will kick this one away here to start the second half. Brown will run ahead and boot this one deep off to the left. It'll be taken at about the 1-yard line by Bowens. He faked a handoff, cuts outside the numbers, and is pushed out of bounds at about the 15-yard line. Not a very good return. They tried for some trickery, but Cougars defense scouted it well. The ball will be spotted at the 17-yard line to start here for Long Beach, 1st and 10 to open this second half. So again, it's small impact from the COC special teams unit, but they did the job well that time and made sure that Bowens couldn't get much going here. As out comes Derek West to lead the offense for Long Beach once again here to start the second half. Slow to get on the field, just 5 seconds to go on the play clock here. They'll have to get it off quickly. 2-1, they just do get it off in time. They'll hand off to Patton, he cuts it inside the numbers, running still across the 35 and finally brought down at about the 40-yard line. Good run for Talon Patton to open up, had a huge seam through the middle of the field and gets a huge chunk of yardage to gouge the Cougar defense here in the first play of the second half. All the way out to the 40-yard line. Big gain. As West going to throw over the middle. Pass is caught. Good catch on the middle of the field by Dominic Wingfeld. And another big chunk of yardage. A 20-yard gain, just about, actually a little bit less than that. We'll call it 17-yard gain for Long Beach on the pass. And they move the chains once again. It'll bring up another first down here. West will give it, actually he'll keep it this time on an option run. Tries to get the corner. Salazar trying to chase him down, and West has no choice but to dive down as a trio of Cougars were around him. But he picks up a good chunk of yardage, about 4 or 5 on the play. It'll bring up second down at about 5. So Long Beach moving the ball here well to start in this second half, in this first drive of the second half. Game tied at 10 here. West in the shotgun with Patton to his left. Twin receivers out to the left side. One of them is Zach Leitz, who's up over 100 yards in receptions today. They'll hand off to Patton. He tries to bounce through the inside. Great job by the linebacking core of the Cougars to knock him down at the 35-yard line and keep him short of the line to gain. It'll bring up third and about 2 here, Jesse.
So for the Cougars, you want to try and get off this field here. Long Beach coming out of the second half looks like they've made some adjustments of their own. Offense is clicking on all cylinders here early on. Big time play.
So 3rd and 2 from about the 35-yard line. West in the shotgun will look back to the sidelines and take his time here. Gets the play call change from Brett Peabody and Sean Flynn. Flynn, the co-offensive coordinator, along with the head coach Peabody. West will throw. Short pass to Leitz. He runs over his man on the outside and picks up enough yards for a first down. Tough coverage for Chase Edwards-Morgan. 5'9", 175 is Chase Edwards-Morgan. That's going up against Leitz, who's 6'5", 210.
Yeah, definitely a mismatch. I'm sure the Vikings are going to try to look to exploit. Chase Edwards-Morgan, no slouch out there, does a lot with that small frame.
Good job from Salazar to come over and help him that time as well and knock Leitz out of bounds. But it's another Long Beach first down. 3 first downs to open this second half. Clock ticking inside of 12:30. Keeper here for West. He runs outside the numbers and will slide just across the 20-yard line. They'll spot him for a first down at the 18. Another good job from West to read the defense. And the Cougars defense now going to be stacked up here inside the 20-yard line. Once again, Long Beach in the red zone.
I want to say maybe caught him in some kind of a stunt because that end was wide open.
And again, they'll keep on the option run here. Ike trying to chase down. West tackles him short of the 10-yard line. He picks up about 6 yards. And another second and short here for Long Beach, as that was a first down play. So they're going with the option now. Same play back to back. West running to his left. Now a late man onto the field is the tight end, TJ Easter, as they hustle off Lincoln Duran to get off the field here. Second down at about 3 from the Cougar 11-yard line. West in the shotgun with Patton behind him. 8 seconds on the play clock. Movement up front on Long Beach, and that will back them up. The ball never got off. The movement on the big offensive lineman, Elijah Thomas, I believe, on the near side.
Red ball, full start. Offense, number 56.
It was Elijah Thomas. So it'll push them back to 2nd and 8 here. West will stay in the shotgun. 11:32 to go here in the third quarter, just underway in the second half. Long Beach moving the ball well. West will throw. Wants it to the end zone. Incomplete, and a flag laid on Jock Vukobradovic. 3 flags on the field. Cougars aren't going to be happy with that call. Vukobratovic just dialing up a big hit over the middle. I'm not sure the pass was catchable, but I think maybe the thought process is a targeting potential penalty here. As Vukobratovic a little high up on the receiver, Jen Velasquez. The referee's all talking about it still here. Wait to see.
Good ball. Unnecessary roughness. On the defense, number 8, hitting a defensive receiver. That'll be half the distance, and by rule, an automatic first down.
So it's an automatic first down, a unnecessary roughness penalty on Jock Vukobratovic. So to move the ball half the distance and give Long Beach a new set of downs, first and goal from just inside the 10-yard line. As West will keep this time. Wanted to throw, got Ike up in the air. Now will throw towards the end zone, incomplete. Good job from Chase Edwards-Morgan, the freshman out of Chatsworth, to come across and knock the ball away before Zach Leitz could get a hand on it. As you take a look, Ike chasing down once again, Ike in the backfield. And that's created off that West rollout. Ike reading it well and just chasing him down, making sure he's in his face, making it a tough throw. And it results in an incomplete pass. Second and goal from the 8-yard line here for Long Beach. West stays in the shotgun, Patton the lone back behind him. Looks back at the sidelines now with 7 seconds on the play clock. This time he'll run again on that option. Throws into the end zone. Caught for a touchdown by Zach Leitz. So Long Beach gets a touchdown. Leitz on a little bit of a post route, able to get himself open and makes the catch as we take another look. And just a good job on the RPO. Morgan was there, but Leitz, the big body, too much to handle, and it's another Long Beach touchdown. Second touchdown of the game for Zach Leitz. And Long Beach a PAT from a 7-point lead at this point. Is on for the try. Is Flores. The kick is up and it is good. So you can make it a 17-10 game. The Vikings come out and take 3 minutes and 46 seconds off the clock, marching it downfield, resulting in a Zach Leitz touchdown, his second touchdown of the day. He had one in the first half for a big score. It was a deep pass that was caught, and it went for a 79-yard touchdown pass. This one quite a bit shorter, an 8-yard touchdown pass. Second touchdown pass of the day for Derek West. And Long Beach now with a 17-10 lead. So not the start you wanted if you were the Cougar defense. The option for Long Beach really doing some damage, as West was able to scamper for a couple first downs himself. And now we'll get our first look back again at the Cougar offense here after the kick. So it'll be Lennox Howard and Jordan Anderson back to receive for the Cougars here. Lemus kicks this one out of bounds on the far side. And COC will get great field position here after the penalty. Lemus didn't even get it across the 10-yard line before it went out of bounds. So that'll spot the ball all the way out on the 35-yard line. Gives the Cougars good field position to start here on their first possession of the second half. Now trailing once again by a touchdown, 17-10 in favor of Long Beach after the touchdown pass to Zach Leitz just a few moments ago. So it's Eden back out in the shotgun here with Dunn to his right on first down. Twin receivers out to the far side. They'll hand off to Dunn on a little bit of a jet sweep to the left. He's taken down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 1. Good job by the Long Beach defense. First in on the hit, Shane Irwin was there as he was able to read it well on a modified jet sweep from the Cougars, and they'll put him behind the chains here. A negative play to open the second half for the COC offense. So we go second down and 11 from the 34 now. Eden stays in the shotgun. Fakes the handoff, rolls out to his right. Now will move to the left, looking. Good coverage downfield from Long Beach, and Eden going to be taken down well behind the line of scrimmage. Had to try and scramble. Not much room for him to operate. A great job in coverage by the Long Beach defense. And the Cougars with 2 negative plays to open up here in the second half. Not the start they wanted after giving up a touchdown. So after a kickoff out of bounds and what looked like great field position to start for COC, they've pushed themselves back to the 32-yard line and now have 3rd and 13, needing to get right to the 45 for a first down. Ed to throw, has some time. Now will step up and run, and he's taken down at the 30-yard line. Another good job from Shane Irwin as he's able to find his way into the backfield and knock Eden down. And the Cougars 3 and out. They did nothing but go backwards on that opening drive here in the second half. So Irwin again in the backfield, excited, popped right up out of the pile and threw his hands in the air. So it'll force a Tanner Brown punt. Not the start to the second half Ted Iacenda and company were hoping for. A quick 3 and out where they backed up 4 yards. Every play was a -1. And Brown will boot this one away. Kick a good one, wobbling. Bowens will take it over his left shoulder all the way back at the 15-yard line. Cougars good in coverage, won't let him get back to the 20. He's knocked down at the 19. Great kick, better coverage by the Cougars. It's a beautiful punt from Tanner Brown, who drives it all the way back to the 20-yard line. So it flips the field in favor of the Cougars. It's a 50, we'll call it 54-yard punt with a 2-yard return. They mark the ball at the 20-yard line, and we'll get to see Long Beach back on the offensive attack once again after they march down the field on their opening drive here. A very efficient drive from Derek West, resulting in a Long Beach touchdown. As they have a 17-10 lead, West stays in the shotgun. He'll throw here on first down, gets it out of the outside, room to operate for the receiver. Spinning back inside was Tariq Culpepper, and he's got enough for a Long Beach first down. They say he was down, the ball was out. But the officials have already blown the whistle as we take another look here. Unfortunately, no replay, so this is just for our benefit here. Is a good job from Culpepper, cuts it back inside, spins, and yeah, he's down on the ground. His hind parts are on the turf. So we go back here on first down. Patton trying to run, wrapped up at the line of scrimmage by Charles Ike. Whistle will finally blow. They'll say he'll get the line of scrimmage. Somehow Patton stayed on his feet on this last play. As you take another look, Cougars unorganized once again. Ike able to wrap him up. And Patton just fighting through 2 or 3 Cougars, but they say his forward progress was stopped. So it's no gain. It'll bring up second down and 10. Long Beach taking their time here this time after they went hurry up after the first down. Slow down here on second and 10 from the 42. West will look back at the sideline. West will throw, looking towards his right, throws, has a man, caught by Bowens, and he's knocked down at the 50-yard line, pushed out of bounds. Just the first positive reception for Zion Bowens today, who hasn't had a reception for positive yards, and that time able to get enough for a first down, as they say he was knocked out of bounds across the 50 to the COC 48-yard line. And again, Long Beach will move the chains. So we go on 1st and 10 from the Cougar 48-yard line. They'll hand off to Patton. Bounces around on the inside and brought down after a gain of 2 by Charles Ike. Also in there underneath the pile is Jack Schultz. Patient running from Talon Patton. And the clock continues to tick in the favor of Long Beach with a 7-point lead. Inside of 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. West in the shotgun here. Patton behind him. He'll step back to pass. A short 3-step drop. Now rolls out to his right. Dumps it off to Patton. He spins across the 40-yard line. Hit by Ike, but stays on his feet. Finally pushed out of bounds by Jock Vukobratovic. But enough for another Long Beach first down. They continue to march down the field here to open the second half. It's all Long Beach right now. They're having their way with the Cougar defense at the moment. COC having a tough time getting to Derek West, who's done a good job to slip a couple of tackles. Movement up front this time on Long Beach. So they'll back themselves up 10 yards. And we saw this a lot in the first half against the Cougars, where they had the ball rolling and then marched themselves backwards on flags. So Long Beach backs themselves up 5. Ball moves back at the 39-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 15 from the COC 41. Cougars were showing pressure, will back it off. West wants to throw, escapes the pocket, and actually he's just tripped up. Great job to get to him by Benjamin Seymour, as he just got his fingertips on his shoelaces and was able to knock West down with just enough momentum. And you can see Seymour right through the middle. Great job to get his hands on West, knocks him down and backs Long Beach up across the 45 to the 46-yard line of the Cougars. It'll be 2nd down and 20. Just the 2nd sack for the Cougars today. As Seymour gets it once again, and he's right up the middle again. This time they'll dump it off in space. Culpepper with room across the 40, and knocked down at the original line of scrimmage, right back at the Cougar 36-yard line. So it'll leave 3rd and 10 here. So a good job from Culpepper to get the yardage back after a penalty and a sack by the Cougars. And it'll leave 3rd and 10 from the 36 here. West in the shotgun, 5 wide this time for Long Beach. West stays deep in the backfield. A 3-step drop is flush from the pocket, rolling to his right. Now we'll run it back through the middle and brought down right about the 35-yard line. Charles Ike, Arian Peoples there on the tackle, and it looks like Peoples is down. Seymour hurt as well. That's not a good sign from the Cougars defense. 2 guys down on the field. And that'll bring Sarah Ursum along with Eric Butrago down to check on both of these guys. Seymour, looks like it's his left arm, kind of just hanging limp. And for Peoples, I'm not sure what was ailing him, but he's going to come off under his own power. So that's good news for the Cougars, that both those guys come off under their own power. And they get a much needed stop. It leaves Long Beach at 4th and 9 here. 4:49 to go in the third quarter. 17-10 in favor of the Vikings. And I want to say they're going to trot the offense back out on the field here on 4th and 9 from the 35. West is going to be in the shotgun with 2 backs in the backfield with him. Some extra protectors for him here as the Cougars maybe have a chance to pin their ears back, try and go get him here on 4th and 9. This is a pivotal play here to start this third quarter. They'll snap it back, and actually they're just going to kick it away. A short kick bounces at the 10, and Long Beach going to down it right at the goal line, the half-yard line, and the Cougars will have to go 99.5 yards here as they are backed up all the way to their end zone. Great kick from Jacob Lemieux, tricking the Cougars as Long Beach, with a good play call, ran the offense back out there. It looked like they were going to maybe go for it on 4th and 9. Instead, they pinned the Cougars all the way back at their own half-yard line here. And the ball is actually marked right at the 1. They gave him a half a yard back. So Cougars need 99 yards to try and tie the game. First things first, let's get out of the shadow of your own end zone here. With 4:30 to go here in the third quarter, Eden will be in the shotgun deep in the backfield. Three-step drop, has to throw, wants a big one downfield, just out of the reach of the outstretched arms of Taquan Gilmore. And he had pressure in his face right from the go from Long Beach. As you take a look, the defense pinning their ears back, they send some extra pressure, and Eden had to do all he could to get it away. Almost had it right on the mark to Elliott, just out of the reach of his outstretched arms. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Goalpost shadowing Eden here. He'll throw it quickly, swings it inside the end zone, and Smith is going to be tackled in the end zone for a safety. Cougars tried for that little screen play to get themselves out of the shadow of the end zone, and not much doing for Amari Smith, who's down in the backfield inside the Cougar end zone. It's a safety for Long Beach. And Smith is in a lot of pain too. And it looks like he'll get off the field on his own power, kind of just runs out of the back of the end zone, and it's a big swing here for the Vikings. They get a safety and now have a 9-point lead after a great punt from Lemieux to pin the Cougars deep, and it only took 2 plays for Long Beach to get the safety, and have now made this even more difficult on the Cougars, as they'll have to kick it away from their own 20-yard line on a free kick. So the defense did its job for the Cougars. Long Beach's punting game, special teams with a huge play to pin the Cougars deep. And the Vikings get a safety. So Brown will have to kick it from his own 20-yard line here. And Long Beach should get some pretty good field position. So Brown will boot this one away. Long Beach has to take it back at their own 15-yard line. Good kick considering. And bringing it back across the 25 to about the 30-yard line was Tyon Harvey. And that is where Long Beach will take over. Good field position for the Vikings here. So it's been all Long Beach to start here. It's West in the shotgun here for Long Beach with Patton behind him. Will keep, throws over the middle, pass. Incomplete, they say, on the ground. The FAR official waving incomplete. The umpire saying it was a catch. And I think they're going to get together and talk about this. And I think they got that one right as it bounced. So we go 2nd and 10 from the 30-yard line.
Now, if the Cougars ever needed a big play, it's right here. All the momentum on the Vikings sideline. Don't want to let things get too far out of hand here, but already a lot of time ticked off in this third quarter, so it's now or never for the Cougars, looking for a spark.
As we go here on 2nd down and 10 from the 30-yard line. Again, West on the keep, wants to throw downfield. Pass is caught by Bowens, and he's maybe a yard shorter than marker at the first down line. He needed to get to the 40, got to about the 39.
Nice job by Jacques Vukobratovich just coming in there and cleaning that up, finishing the play, keeping them just short. It's a big-time third down, third and short. Vikings with a lot of options here, but if you're Canyons, you just want to get off the field, regroup a little bit, let Evan and company go back out there.
Yeah, it's been all Long Beach here in this second half. They're going to run with Patton. He lowers his shoulders, fights through the line, and has enough for a first down across the 45 to the 46-yard line. Inside of 3:35 to go in this third quarter.
Oh, that's a good run. Looked like the Cougars were there, stacked up, met him in the hole. He just slipped off the shoulder pad and was able to spin around and get upfield. So those are the type of tough yards that help determine who wins and loses a ball game. So far, Vikings look like they've got it going here.
Patton's a big body, 6'2", 250 out of St. Anthony's in Long Beach. He's a very powerful runner through the middle. And a flag movement, I believe, up front on Long Beach, as that's in the area of a false start.
That's exactly what it was.
False start.
So,
58, Long Beach.
again, this happened in the last drive, but Long Beach, with a good punt, was able to get a safety out of it, got points on the board out of it anyway, but derailed themselves after moving the ball down the field pretty well off a penalty. We saw this happen a lot in the first half to COC as well, Jesse, where they kind of derailed themselves on penalties.
Mm-hmm. Penalties and turnovers, it sounds like, you know, a no-brainer, but those things will kill you.
So we go on 1st and 15, West to throw. Has a man, good job to defend, and then a late flag on the field. It looked like Chase Edwards-Morgan got his hand in, actually Aaron Pitts got his hand in there to knock the ball away, and the official's going to come over and talk about it here.
Well, look at the replay. I thought there might have been a hold initially on the Long Beach front, but the flag came in a little bit late, and it looked like it was in the area of the...
Yeah, you see the hold right there, but then you see the flag up here from the far side official.
So let's see who they got. Well, they decided nobody.
And I think the flag actually, I think if I heard him correctly, he said ineligible downfield, no flag on the play for that. So a good job from Pitts on the outside to make a stop. That'll bring up 2nd down and 15 from the Long Beach 41-yard line. West walks up towards the line of scrimmage. Will stay in the shotgun here. Has Patton to his right. West, 3-step drop, looking left the whole way, throws, has a man wide open over the middle of the field. It's caught by Culpepper, spins away from run, makes it outside the numbers and is knocked out of bounds by Vukobratovich, but a huge chunk of yardage for Long Beach once again as they're all the way inside the Cougar 25. And again, a missed tackle, that time from Pitts, as he couldn't get his hands on the streaking Tariq Culpepper. And Long Beach once again marching downfield, 1st and 10 from the 23-yard line. West, who had all sorts of time on the last play, will keep again on the RPO. This time he's wrapped up in the backfield by Bradley Brown.
Oh, just the play the Cougars needed. There's nothing else to stall this out a little bit, but you're going to see him just beat his man, come upfield and explode into the quarterback there. Nice job.
And that's the first time the weak side pressure has been able to get to West, and that's, I think, what the Cougars need to try and get more of, is West is good rolling out to his left, but if he doesn't see that off that weak side, you can get to him. And every time he's out of the pocket very early, the Cougars haven't been able to really contain him. As we go on 2nd and 18 here, West looks at the sideline. Long Beach playing the time management game here. West wants to dump it off, and he's wrapped up in the backfield again. Bradley Brown there, along with Caleb Johns, I think, this time. Actually, I think it's Jonathan Thomas now that I look back at the number.
Back-to-back big-time plays off that defensive line, just flying upfield. Like you said, that backside pressure comes, and he meets his partner there at the quarterback.
And they did a much better job containing on that right side as well to make sure that West couldn't roll out.
And this is how it happens, Matt. Little things become big things. You get a couple back-to-back stops here. You put them in a tough 3rd and 31. Imperative to get off the field here.
You can call it 3rd and forever. Whistles, timeout called by the Cougars as they don't like the defensive set they're in. So they're going to come over to the sideline. Coach Iacenda hot under the collar after the timeout. Does not like taking a timeout on defense after 2 big plays.
No, not at all. And especially in a game that looks like you could be trying to come back from behind, you're going to need those timeouts later. But I think more importantly, to make sure everyone's on the same page, that you're lined up correctly with what Long Beach is showing out there. Again, this is an imperative play in the game. With a minute 12 left to go in the third quarter, you cannot allow Long Beach to prolong this drive and tack more points on the board. So if the Canyons, it's now or never. Get off the field and turn it around.
Back-to-back big plays from Bradley Brown. Last one aided by Jonathan Thomas. Second sack in a row for Brown. He actually splits the sack because Thomas is there with him as well. For Brown, has had a pretty good game. I think he's already had a couple of sacks today before those.
Yeah, and again, it brings a lot of pressure regardless. Even if he doesn't necessarily get to the guy, he maybe forces him to change direction or get rid of the ball a little quicker than he wanted to. He's having a big impact, especially these last couple of weeks.
Trips receivers out to the right here for Long Beach on 3rd and 32 from the COC 45 West. Just throws it up downfield, and it's well ahead of Zach Leitz, who was wide open. Beat his man on the hitch and go route, but the throw from West just had a little bit too much juice, and it brings up 4th down.
So just what you wanted for College of the Canyons. Now take a deep breath. There's still plenty of time left. You don't like to be in this position, but 9 points is not an insurmountable lead by any token of the imagination, especially with an explosive offense like this.
So Lemieux back to punt, standing right about his own 44-yard line here. Cougars maybe going to pin their ears back once again. Two guys standing split between the 15-yard line. Lemieux gets the punt away. This one will bounce and roll into the end zone. Smith thought about picking it up and then thought better of it, so the Cougars will get good field position here, or better field position than the last time where they were pinned back on the 1.
You're absolutely right. I think, again, that eagerness to try and make a play, provide your team with a spark, especially when you're trailing here second half, but a good heads-up play to let that ball roll into the end zone. Now we'll get a chance to see if that resiliency from last week carries over here in the second half. Cougars with an uphill battle here, trailing 19-10.
It's a 9-point lead here for Long Beach. 59 seconds to go in the third quarter. Cougars with a big bunch formation near the line of scrimmage. They'll shovel pass on the inside to Henderson. He bounced off one tackle and was able to get a yard out of it, but there was not much room for him to operate that time, as the Cougars trying to change up the formation here and show Long Beach something different.
Yeah, a lot of congestion in the middle there. You hate to see a play like that turn negatively for the Cougars. Fortunately, it didn't there, but I like the idea of getting the ball in your guys, the quickest guy on your team, getting the ball in his hands.
Yeah, they just have not had the downfield passing game so far. That one tipped, and it bounces off the turf. He was trying to get it onto the near side to TQ Gilmore. Second time he's targeted Gilmore here in this third quarter has Eden. Just hasn't been able to find a way. The big bodies up front for Long Beach doing a good job getting hands on balls, creating pressure on Armani Eden here. So it'll bring up 3rd and 9. 2 quick plays for the Cougars, not much doing as they trot an extra body, an extra tight end out onto the field as Dunn comes off. They'll go 5 wide here.
We talked a few minutes ago, it's imperative to get off the field. I think it's imperative now you get this first down, prolong the drive. You can't give the ball up again.
As Eden steps up, looking downfield, eyes downfield as he rolls to his right, throws over the middle. It's picked off once again by DeAnthony Jones. He returns it inside the 20, into the 10, and a touchdown for Long Beach. A pick 6 for DeAnthony Jones, but there's a flag on the far side of the field.
We'll see what the flag looks like, but boy, that kid's having himself a night. Another big-time play here.
As you can see him cut it back through the middle. The flag came after the interception, so the interception will stand. The flag just may take the touchdown off the board.
And we'll see. I think maybe you can just hear some of the reaction up here in the press box, maybe some sort of block in the back behind the play that really didn't matter.
The white hat talking about it with the far side official and the umpire.
I almost want to say, did someone on the sideline say or do something? Because the way you see the official here on the sideline, and then all of a sudden he turns around. couple linemen there with a chance to make
Yep.
the tackle. Just you see the way that the official's looking at the coaching
Yep.
staff. It might have been another decorum type call.
They're still talking about it, though, over there. It's not been a good night for Armani Eden. 4 interceptions now. 3 of them for D'Anthony Jones, who's really been the difference so far defensively. He's taken away a lot of plays from the Cougar defense.
2 fouls by the offense on the play. Number 50, unsportsmanlike, blocking out of bounds. Number 50, dead ball, personal foul. Both fouls will be enforced from the spot of the foul.
And I think he said the fouls were on the offense, but I believe they're both on Long Beach, so it would have been the defense in that sense. Long Beach does get the football, and they will be marched back. Both will be enforced from the spot of the foul, as one is a block in the back and one is an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty after the play. So the interception goes down. Long Beach will have to move back from the Cougar 30-yard line, but still great field position here, leading by 9. I guess if you want to see a bright spot for COC, it's that 7 points doesn't go on the board.
Yeah, and circle that one, because if the Cougars are able to hold on here and keep Long Beach out of the end zone, that's the turning point in this game. You see it again right here, the block right out of bounds.
And that's excessive. Pushed him all the
the
way into the trainer's tent.
Yeah. I mean, you want to be physical, you want to play to the whistle, but that's just uncalled for there.
So it moves the ball all the way back to the Cougar 44-yard line. That's where Long Beach will take over with Derek West, who outside of his last drive has really had his way with the Cougar defense here in the second half. As he stays in the shotgun here. RPO, he'll keep, runs to the outside, looking downfield, slings it, and they say it is not caught with 8 seconds to go here in the third quarter, as out of bounds was the receiver, Tariq Culpepper. So it'll be 2nd and 10 from the 44-yard line here. 8 seconds to go in the third quarter, 19-10 in favor of the Long Beach City College Vikings. As West in the shotgun will hand off this time. Nowhere to go for Patton. He's brought down behind the line of scrimmage, a loss of the yard, and that will end the third quarter. Wasn't the third quarter you wanted from COC. So we come back. And again, like we were saying, not a good third quarter at all for COC. No points on the board, a safety against. The only reason you're still in this game right now, Jesse, is the defense has done their job. Outside of that first touchdown.
Oh, an unfortunate penalty here. And you start to see, back-to-back negative plays after that. Canyon's kind of coming around here. Again, I said we'll circle that play and see if they can continue to hold them out of the end zone. Flip things around and get going the other way, that could be huge. But
the problem is the offense just has not at all been able to get into rhythm today.
Yeah, not at all. And the turnovers will kill you, especially in the points in the field that they've come. So, again, an uphill battle here in the fourth quarter. Cougars will have their work cut out for them, but all is not lost here. A lot of time left. And it starts right here on this play.
So it's 3rd and 10 here to start the fourth quarter for Long Beach. They lead by 9, 19-10 after a touchdown and a safety in that third quarter. West up over 330 yards now passing. Eden not good, 15 for 24, 125 yards and 4 interceptions. The flags are not in the correct place, as it's ball on the Cougar 45-yard line. Now the flags are finding their way to the right spot. I was going to say the flags were set up like it was a Cougar first down. And I'm like, no, it's 3rd and 10 here. The flags need to flip the sides of the field here, and I think they finally got themselves going.
I think the crew might have been a little anxious to flip things around here. But here we go.
Big 3rd down here. 3rd and 10 to start the fourth quarter. we'll call it 3rd and 11 actually, as they're at the 45. They need to get to the Cougar 34-yard line. West in the shotgun. Will step back to pass, dumps it off, and Culpepper dropped it. Good job from the Cougar defense. They pinned their ears back, went right after West, and forced him to throw the ball before he could get it off, or get it really in rhythm to anybody.
Yeah, absolutely right. Everyone hovering there above the line. The ball was snapped, and the Cougars just came full force. I was a little worried they might run a slant there. It looked like they had somebody in the slot. And with everybody up, that middle of the field was wide open, but just not enough time to get anything going.
So Lemieux back to punt. He's done a good job today, the soccer-style kicker. He landed one inside the 1-yard line and pinned the Cougars deep. That led to a safety for Long Beach as a timeout called by Brett Peabody, as Long Beach was not set up correctly to get the kickoff. Took a little bit too much time. So their first charge timeout, each team left with 2, as we're just starting here in this fourth quarter. 14:57 on the game clock right now, as it's been tough sledding for COC so far today on the offensive side. The defense, though, has kept them in the game, and that's all you want from your defense. They've done a good job this year. COC's defense allowing just 20.5 per game on average, and are just under the number right now. And really, you can't, actually, they're 3 points under the number right now if you really look at it.
And I think Canyon as a team, I mean, fourth quarter, down by 9, probably haven't been in this position a whole lot over the last couple of years. And you see Eden, the offensive unit, they're all rearing to go back out there. They haven't lost any energy, certainly don't show any signs of fatigue. So, like I said, a lot of time to go. 9 points is not insurmountable, especially with this offense, but it's about executing and getting into that rhythm.
Lemieux's kick, a low one. Eden will take it at about the 10-yard line, picks up a block, tries to cut back inside, got around one man. Tries to get to the numbers, spins. He's taken down at about the 20. Good job from Long Beach to get back into defensive coverage on the kick. But a decent return for Eden. It's a punt of about 30 yards, a return of about 10. The Cougars will take over at about the 20-yard line. And there you just saw some of the shiftiness from Eden on the replay. Just dances around one man, tried to spin back again. And that's why you want to get the ball to Armani Eden in space when you can. And that's why they have him out there on the punt return. Lennox Howard into the game as a receiver for the first time today for the Cougars. Eden in the shotgun with Zool in the backfield with him. We'll see what they decide to dial up. They'll hand off to Zool, patiently trying to find his way through. Nowhere to go. Great job from the Long Beach defense. Shane Irwin the first in there as a trio of Vikings able to take down Zool.
Zool getting some opportunities here in the second half. You still see Caden Dunn down there, helmet on, ready to go in. Surprised the Cougars haven't gone back to him yet here in the second half. I don't know if that's just a matter of game flow, the packages and the schemes that you're out there calling, but I would really like to see him return to that at some point here.
They haven't really had much of a downfield passing game today. Dunn's really been the only one to do anything. 64 yards on the ground, and he had a big 20-yard reception as well. So they stay with Zool. Eden will throw, wants one downfield, and it's just out of the reach of Elliott on the near sideline. Just had a little bit too much zip on it.
Yeah, and I think probably got rid of that just a little bit before he wanted to. You're going to see here, waiting for the snap. There's some pressure there. The back missed his block, and
it was D'Anthony,
yeah.
And who else? D'Anthony Jones creating problems for the Cougar offense. So to leave 3rd and 12 here, clock stopped at 13:55. Now you're in the point where the game going to slow down quite a bit when the Cougars have the ball. They have to throw on 3rd and 12 here, needing a big gain for a first down, trying to get the ball movement. Eden, plenty of time, will roll to his right, throws, pass, caught by Howard in space, cuts it across the 30-yard line, now tries to bounce it on the outside, spins off one man, but a flag down, a block in the back on the Cougars, and just a little bit too aggressive on the block from from Gilmore, and this will back the Cougars back up. They'll do it again.
That's unfortunate because that was just the exact play you needed right across the middle of the field. You saw Zool make up for the block on the last play with a nice pickup here.
And it was just a small shove from Gilmore, but it was enough to knock Dallas Burke down.
And that's sometimes all it takes. You know, you applaud the kid's effort trying to get downfield and help his teammate.
So it'll back the Cougars up, yeah. We just wait on the official call.
Talking about 80 on the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
So we'll play 3rd down again. Cougars had enough for, I think they might have been a half yard short if he just lets him go. I think Howard may be able to dive ahead for it. But it'll bring up 3rd and 10. It was actually 9. The Cougars get a yard, 3 yards out of the play. Clock now ticking as Eden looks at the sidelines. It's actually about 3rd and 9 here. As Eden to throw, has some time, steps up, no room to throw, escapes the pressure, rolls to his right. Now he'll tuck it and run, gets across the 30, pushed hard out of bounds. I don't think he got to the line to gain, was about a half a yard short. We'll see on the spot. No flag on the play. The Cougar faithful wanted a flag for a late hit. I don't think they're going to get it. And one of the Vikings down on the field as well.
Well, that was pretty close. You saw Eden running around out there. Want to give a shout out.
Now there is a flag on the field, so I think the flag came out late. And it's a defensive hold, so that helps the Cougars. So not only did I think they get enough for the first down, but they also get 10 extra yards on it. Good job from Eden to escape the pressure and find a way to run upfield.
Like I said, we said earlier, this kid's a gamer. He might have been shooken a little bit with the interceptions. You know, I hope not down on himself because there's a lot of game to go. He's a kid who'll step back up and try to make a play for you.
They hand off to Zool here on first down. Spins across the 45, still on his feet, pushing the pile forward. And I think they'll say his forward progress finally stopped at about the 47-yard line, but a good chunk gouges the defense for about 6.
Yeah, and if you can get Cyrus Zool going, that'll provide a big lift to this offense. You know, Eden maybe not having up to his typical self tonight, so you spread the ball around, you go a different route. Zool's a talented back out there, Caden Dunn. There's a lot of things this Cougar offense can do to help rally this team here.
The tight end Randy Clemens checks in. Eden stays in the shotgun. Zool, the lone back in the backfield. They'll hand off to Zool. Waits for the pulling block of Clemens. Able to get up to the line to gain and might be about a yard short. I don't know. The line judge on the near side has it marked as a first down.
And again, like you said, a great job following his blocks, just waiting for waiting for things to develop. And that's really been his style. You see a little bit of pushing and shoving there at the end. This has been a hard-fought contest.
Absolutely.
These guys are, they've been going to battle each and every play, so you expect a little bit of that to spill over.
Zool does pick up the first down, so it's 1st and 10 for the Cougars. Another first down for COC. Their 13th of the game is Eden to throw here on first down. Has protection, wants a big one downfield, looking for Henderson, and it's broken up. Good play defensively by Malik Welch. Stayed stride for stride with Alonzo Henderson and was able to knock it away.
Oh, that's a huge play for Long Beach. You go back, I mean, he catches that ball, that's an automatic touchdown.
Just enough on that big outstretched right hand.
That's one he's going to put on his highlight reel.
Good defense from Malik Welch, the sophomore out of North Torrance High School, 6'1", 200 pounds. A lot of big defensive backs for Long Beach we haven't talked about today, but they've done a good job to really lock up the Cougar passing game downfield. As they go 2nd and 10 here, Eden to throw, short drop, has some time, now has to step up in the pocket, tries to escape, and he's wrapped up and taken down behind the line of scrimmage. Good job from Divine Obashir to get to him. And it'll be a negative play once again for the Cougars and leave them in 3rd and long.
There's no quitting this Vikings front. They just keep coming after him. Eden running for his life a little bit out there. Wasn't able to get that one away. Gonna have to regroup. Another big 3rd down coming up. Clock continues to tick, Matt.
And again, credit the defensive backs from Long Beach. Downfield, able to lock up their guys. Eden looking downfield the whole way, just nowhere for him to throw. That's really a coverage sack.
Yeah, nothing there. And on the play before, when they thought it was there, was able to respond and make the last second tip. So
it'll be 3rd and 15. Ball spotted at the Cougar 47-yard line. They need to get to about the 38 here. Eden will throw quickly over the middle. It's in and out of the hands of Lennox Howard. He was hit right as the ball came out. And it's a defensive stop for Long Beach. I think it was Taj Wright on the stop. So it'll be 4th and 15 now. The Cougars will trot Tanner Brown out onto the field. The offense looked like maybe it had itself rolling for a second, but just not much doing after couple of penalties, a couple of bad passes. It'll be 4th and 15. Brown, a high wobbling kick, will go out of bounds at about the 23-yard line. We'll wait and see where the official marches up to. Spots it right at the Long Beach 25. They'll take over with 10:29 to go here in the 4th. A 9-point lead for the Vikings, as they've had the better of it in the second half. Cougar offense has not been able to do anything.
No, and once again, you're going to look to your defense to rally here. A lot of time left. You get a big turnover, something going here. Long Beach, pushed back a couple of times, saw that drive stall out. So, again, more of that, but really it's about that big play here. Give this team a spark, bring the offense back out, and get back into your game.
And this is where the defense does their job, does their best work, trying to get that big turnover, that big play. As they go to work here, Long Beach 1st and 10 from their own 25-yard line. Lots of bodies into block here. They'll hand off to Patton. He slashes his way through the middle. Very patient. Bounces off one tackle. Still on his feet. Across the 40-yard line. Now across midfield. Cougars trying to chase him down from behind. And he's finally pushed out of bounds inside the Cougar 20-yard line. Great run once again for Talon Patton.
Yeah, credit on the run, absolutely. I saw Courtney Chandler come up and looked like he had him locked up, and he just bounced out.
West out in front blocking.
And a great job of the Cougars keeping that line of pursuit and going down there, stopping the touchdown, giving yourself a second chance. Never too late to a turnover. Something here to stunt this drive, but the Vikings are on the move. Cougars got to respond.
Inside the Cougar 20-yard line. Ball actually spotted right at the 20, 1st and 10. West in the shotgun with Patton in the backfield. They're going to play the clock game now, as inside of 5 seconds on the play clock. They've worked it inside of 10 minutes here. They get the snap off. They'll hand off to Patton, wrapped up in the backfield, but was able to fight ahead for 2 yards. Somehow just continues to fight his way for tough yards. Picks up a gain of about 2, maybe 3.
I think that was Ben Seymour on the stop. He's having another great night. Playing the run, did get to the quarterback on a sack earlier, but also making his presence felt here. These are big-time plays. You're going to get the stop, try and go for the strip or something. Cougars need the ball back.
Clock continues to tick. That's in favor of Long Beach right now as they lead by 9. Inside of 9:30 to go here in the 4th quarter. They take their time and turn back, can waste another 15 seconds if they'd like, as they've got 2 receivers out to the far side. Lone receiver to the near side is Leets. They'll keep this time with West. He's able to cut it back up the middle and will run into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. The option works again. West on an RPO just tucks it and run, and Long Beach has busted this one open a bit.
Yeah, the Vikings, that was a perfectly executed run play. The hole was there, and he just scampered right in.
So the Cougars are just on their heels the whole way after the big run to open the drive from Patton. West finishes it off from about 18 yards out. Was kind of an RPO that he just tucked and took off with.
Yeah, you saw Charles Ike get upfield, and as soon as he saw him there, he cut back in, had the lineman there. Nice little design.
So Flores for the point after. Make it a 16-point game should he knock it through. And he does drive it through. So it's 26-10 in favor of Long Beach. And the Vikings have had their way with the Cougars today. You talk about defensively, the Cougars, they've done their job to keep themselves into the game to this point. That last drive didn't go well. The offense just has not been there. This is an offense for the Cougars that averages 41 points a game. The Long Beach defense is doing a great job. They only give up about 26.5 or 25.5 per game, and they've hit the mark today against a really good Cougar offense.
Absolutely, forced a ton of mistakes, some penalties. The execution just hasn't been there so far. You hate to count anybody out with this much time left. I think it's imperative the Cougars try and go back, not necessarily get the quick strike going. Of course, that would be helpful, but more getting into your rhythm, getting this offense going, and, getting Eden more comfortable. A lot of talent out there, a lot of guys to look to, but it means nothing if you can't get into that rhythm and execute.
So with 9:10 on the 4th quarter game clock, Cougars trail by 16 now, 26-10. They will get a chance to go back on offense here after the kick from Long Beach. It's a short kick, taken at about the 10-yard line by the Cougars. Howard will try and run it to the near side. Picked up one block, got across the 30, across the 35, and out of bounds at the 40. Good return from Lennox Howard, and it sets up the Cougars in good field position here.
Hey, that's a great start. That's a nice spark from that young man, making the most of his opportunity. Almost had the block coming across and could have sprung him a little bit farther, but hey, you start the drive at the 40-yard line. That bodes well for the rest of the drive.
And maybe this is what you need. You get a quick strike here from the Cougars. You can kind of stop some momentum as Eden will trot back out, and we get to see Caden Dunn back out. Howard out there along with Gilmore on the far side. Henderson along with Elliott on the near side as the receivers. 4 of them out there with Dunn the lone back in the backfield. 9:01 to go here in the fourth quarter. Cougars trailing by 16. Eden over the middle, caught by Dunn at the 50, inside the 40-yard line. Bounces off one tackle, fights his way across the 35, and about to the 32-yard line. Good gain from Caden Dunn, and gets the offense rolling.
And a nice play call right there, right off the bat, going to Dunn. He just streaks up the field over the middle and takes it from another big-time play. That's what he can do for you. I was excited to see him out there because I thought it was surely that he's in there for pass pro. This is going to be a passing down. But to go right to him, that's huge.
Cougars will stack it up towards the line of scrimmage a little bit more here. Terrell Stanley in the block as a tight end. Dunn stays in the backfield. Eden will throw here on 1st and 10. Has all sorts of time. Now will flush out towards his left. Has plenty of room. I think he'll just tuck it and run. Secures the football. Cuts inside the numbers. Gets across the marker for a first down. Inside the Long Beach 20-yard line. Good vision from Armani Eden that time.
Back-to-back chunks. You're going to see Eden just kind of roll out. Time his cut right here. You see the defender line him up, and he just kind of...
And something he does the whole way, looking downfield, saying, I'm going to throw the football if I have the chance here.
And just kind of last second jukes him and gets those extra yards.
So 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. He'll keep here on a designed run. Cuts it back inside the numbers, tries to get to the end zone, dives. And I think he got it across the goal line. And they signal a Cougar touchdown. Armani Eden fights his way to the end zone from the 20-yard line. And the Cougars get a score.
Love it. That's what I love about this kid, the resiliency. Put it on his back here. He's atoning for the mistakes and just gets in. There's the flag.
There's a hanky in the backfield. We'll see.
Hold everything here.
Yeah.
Result of the play is a touchdown.
There you go. It is a touchdown. And there you go. The foul is a face mask penalty on the defense. And they'll enforce it on the kickoff. So you score the touchdown. Armani Eden gets a big one. And I think Ted Isenda going to trot the offense back out, go for 2 here. As now they are trailing by 10, a chance to get it within 1 score.
I like it, Matt. If you will it, it is no dream. And he just willed himself into the end zone there. Tremendous job. And this is what this Cougar program is all about. You rally around each other. You believe in each other. You know, the "This I Promise" mantra really rings true here. You keep it going.
An important 2-point try here for the Cougars. 7:57 to go. And they have to take a timeout, as they didn't have enough numbers on the field. I think Trayvon Elliott was late onto the field, and that's not what you wanted if you're COC. You take a late timeout here.
Not at all. You want to save the timeouts, but again, I think more important to make sure you're on the same page. And if you have to sacrifice the timeout to do that, then so be it. I mean, these are 2 crucial points right here. You got to have them. So if you got to burn the timeout, talk to your guys, make sure everyone's lined up and knows the call, knows the count, then so be it.
Back to that play a few moments ago from Armani Eden. It's a huge play, a guy that has not had a good game today. He's struggled today from the offensive side of things. And he just, like you said, wills his way. You see the option run, just cuts it right up the middle and was able to cut back inside, got around a man, drew the penalty as well, and just, I don't know how he stayed on his feet right there.
Yeah, that's the strength. That's why they lift all them weights all off season. I mean, literally just bounced off of that, pulled the guy with him, and found his way in the end zone. That's a great job.
So we'll come back out for the 2-point try here. This is an important play in the ballgame. Cougars trailing by 10 right now. This could get them back within 1 score with still lots of time on the clock at 7:57. So Eden in the shotgun with Dunn with him. 2 receivers to the near side. The lone receiver on the far side is TQ Gilmore. Eden will fake the handoff. Dumps it off over the middle. Caught by Clemens in the end zone. The 2-point try is good. And the Cougars back within 1 score, trailing by 8. 26-18.
Nice series there, and the biggest thing, those big chunks of yardage. Don't take a lot of time off the clock. Still an eternity to go here in this ball game. Cougars feeling good, got a little bit of momentum. Let's let the defense go back out there, see what they can do. again, continue to rally, continue to believe in yourselves. Good things will happen.
And you got to love the excitement out of a guy like Randy Clements. Doesn't get to get the ball in his hands very often. Had a big play taken off the board earlier. That time gets the 2-point conversion try into his hands. Made a great play on a good design from the Cougar offense.
And that's what it's all about. When your number is called, going out there with the belief and the confidence that you can execute, you can give this team a boost.
And
that's exactly what he did.
All of a sudden, the home crowd has come to life a little bit here. Cougars now trailing by 8 as they will get ready to kick this one away with Tanner Brown. And the kick will come from a little bit ahead as well, I think, as it's the infraction of the face mask. Excuse me, I was trying to remember what the foul call was. Is going to be enforced from, I think, about the 50-yard line. So if Tanner Brown does not kick this one out of the back of the end zone, I'd be very surprised.
I mean, I'd venture to say he could hit the scoreboard if he really wanted to. But Cougars, a lot of time left, looking good here. Starting to, like I said, the little things become big things. You stack some success on each other.
Now here's a question. You are trailing by 8. There's still a lot of time. Do you kick this out of the back, or do you try for an onside kick at this point?
No, I think there's plenty of time. I think you kick it and you let your defense go out and do what they've done. Continue to fly around, try and make plays.
And Brown will pooch it short, and that's a good kick if it stays in bounds, and it just rolled out of bounds.
Well, you called it, man.
Yeah, I mean, that's a play that I've seen run from the Cougars for years.
And if that ball spins the
other way,
there's
that's
a couple
Cougar
dudes
football
coming down right there. So
instead, it's a penalty. So Long Beach will get the ball to 35. I like that little pooch kick. I like that opportunity. You just get a bounce the other way, and it's a huge play, can swing the momentum. Instead, Long Beach gets it to the 35, but you're not in terrible field position. You ask the defense just to do their job here.
Now you get a quick 3 and out. You get the Cougars, let's say, the ball back 5.5 minutes, somewhere to go. Plenty of time there. Quick strike offense if they need to, but can also slow it down, run the ball, and dictate how things are going to go. So far, it's been the Vikings doing the dictating. But an opportunity to flip the script here, salvage this game, and send these fans home happy.
The officiating crew talking about something right now.
You know, I will say this officiating crew's done a lot of communicating.
They have.
I like that.
I do
like the fact that they come together and make sure that the call is right. You know, it seems like these guys have each other's back out there. They're watching each other. So, you know, a well-officiated game, regardless of how the penalties have turned against both programs.
I think the conversation is, and I don't know what the ruling is, but I think Long Beach does have the option to make Tanner Brown re-kick, and it would back him up back to the 40-yard line and make him force a kick out of bounds, or at least the 35, maybe backs him up to the original kickoff spot.
The kick from the 15-yard line, by rule, 30 yards from the place of the kick. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line.
Okay. So 30 yards from the spot of the kick, so the Cougars get a good break. The ball placed back at the 20, and that's about where it went out of bounds anyway. So I guess you take that if you're COC.
Oh, absolutely. You take anything you can get at this point.
And so the defense gets a chance to maybe pin their ears back and go after Derek West, who's in the shotgun. Lots of protectors in there this time. He'll hand off, and Patton right up the middle with a huge hole across the 35, tackled from behind by Julian Salazar, but he gouges the defense for 22 yards.
You're going to see on the replay again, I think they caught us in a stunt and just came right up the middle there. Everyone washed down.
And it was a big block right over the middle by Markopoulos, I believe, that made the initial block on AP.
Worst thing about that is the clock continues to tick. You can live with the yardage, but now the time's more valuable. Of course, you want to get the stop, but at this point in the field, you're okay with that.
So we'll see what the defense can dial up here. West in the shotgun with Patton in the backfield with him. He's had a great game for Long Beach. Movement up front on Long Beach, so they derail themselves and will back up here. Patton now 16 carries, 173 yards. And he's had a very strong game for Long Beach. But another penalty. And they were trying to get Culpepper in motion to kind of throw the defense off, and it actually threw the offensive line off, not knowing the snap count at that point.
Again, the Cougars will take it. They are in a dogfight here, fourth quarter.
So it backs them up 1st and 15, all the way back to their own 37-yard line. Patton stays in the backfield with West. He'll look at the sideline as the clock runs here. 8 on the play clock. They'll hand off to Patton. This time tries to slash up the middle, and there's 5 Cougar jerseys to meet him. The yellow all around. Patton nowhere to go. He maybe got a yard. They give him a yard. No, they don't even give him a yard. I think he lost a yard.
I think that was Jonathan Thomas, first one there, flying to the ball, just filling the hole.
See him right there, number 5 in the middle of your screen. Actually, that was the false start from a few moments ago. Emery's mad at himself over here. It's okay, Emery. We're all struggling today a little bit. Here we go. 2nd and 16 from the 36-yard line for Long Beach. They hand off to Patton, and he's met in the backfield once again. Maybe got back to the 36. Great job from the Cougar defense again. And this time it was Caleb Johns in there on the initial hit.
A lot of guys out there flying around making plays. You can see just the reactions starting to get pumped up. 3rd and 16 now.
Johns came all the way from the outside to get to his man. That's a big-time play.
And People's in on there, too, to finish it off. Now, here we go. Let's get off the field.
Crowd starting to fire up here at Cougar Stadium. 6 minutes to go here in the 4th quarter. Cougars trailing by 8, 26-18.
Just don't give them the big play.
West looking back to the sideline. Will waste the final 6 seconds of the play clock here. Needs to get back and get ready to go. Play clock down to 2 and 1. He'll get the snap off just in time. Stepping back to pass, flushed out of the pocket. Will run towards his right, looking for room to operate. Cougars do a good job just to force him out of bounds. He got back to about the 42-yard line, but he's well short of the line to gain, and it'll force another Long Beach punt.
And that's absolutely fine. The clock stops. He doesn't get any yardage. You force the punt. Defense gets off the field. You know, I think I saw another hold on Ben Seymour coming around the end there.
A little bit of a chop block, too, on Julian Salazar down low.
So Vikings dodged a couple there, but most importantly, Cougars going to get the ball back. 5.5 to go.
They'll stand Amari Smith and Lennox Howard back at about the 25-yard line. It's Lemieux who's had a good game today in the punting game. Pinned the Cougars deep once. Cougars try and go to block it. Nearly got it. This one high in the air will bounce it right about the 25-yard line. Takes a COC bounce and then rolls back inside the 20 after it initially bounced back towards the Long Beach side. And the Cougars will take over from right about their own 24-yard line. They mark it actually at the 25. So a 40-yard punt, no return. And the Cougars with field position at the 25-yard line with 5:06 to go, trailing by 8. We see the offense trot back out on the field. Very calm demeanor from the offense right now.
And plenty of time, no need to rush things. You go out there, get into your rhythm, do what you do.
They'll hand off to Smith. Tries to bounce around and able to work his way ahead 2 yards. Right now, East Los Angeles beating Ventura by 10 right now, so that's a game to keep an eye on as well. Obviously, Cougars don't somehow come back and win this one. They've got to keep an eye on the scoreboard next week, but right now Elac kind of upsetting Ventura, maybe going to knock off another one of the big boys. As it's 2nd and 7 here for Eden. 4:30 ticking inside. Eden to throw over the middle. Caught by Dunn across the 40. Breaks it across midfield. Splits the defenders inside the 30. Drags his man all the way to the 20-yard line. A huge gain for Caden Dunn out of the backfield. And the Cougars are once again in the red zone.
Caden Dunn, just chunk after chunk of offensive real estate, giving this team the lift it needs. That's his, fourth reception?
And that one's a big one.
But all of them, 15-plus yards down the field, and it seems to be when the Cougars need him the most, that's who they've turned to is Caden Dunn. Nice throw by Amari Eden. Let's see what he does here.
They go from their own 28-yard line to the Long Beach 17. Huge gain. They'll keep it with Eden. He falls down into a Long Beach Viking and got back to the initial line of scrimmage. So the clock continues to tick. Now inside of 3:50 as it'll be 2nd and 10 here for Dunn. 4 receptions, 118 yards on the game. He has been the best receiver for the Cougars. Not out on the field right now as they go 3 wide, actually 4 wide. Henderson, the slot receiver on the inside, on the near side. He'll throw to Henderson, caught at about the 10, dragged down there. He maybe got to the 11-yard line. That's where they'll mark him here. So it'll leave the Cougars about 5 yards to gain from the 11 on 3rd down.
I got a feeling they've got a play in mind here on 3rd down, 3rd and 3. Obviously 4-down territory at this point in the game, but you'd love to see you get it here.
As they get Dunn back out onto the field, Zool comes off. Eden in the shotgun, Dunn to his right. Will throw here. Dunn picks up the block. Eden throws over the middle, pass dropped by Alonzo Henderson. He was falling down as he tried to make the catch. And I think it's 4-down territory here for the Cougars. I think you've got to go for it on your own 4th and 3, trailing by 8. Timeout on the field. One of the Long Beach defensive linemen down on the field, and he's not moving very quickly. I think it's, from what I heard in the booth, Divine Obashir down on the ground.
Henderson got close, almost hauled that in. Would have been right about the 1-yard line. I don't think he would have quite got in, but it certainly would have put the Cougars in position. Caden Dunn, another nice pickup on the blitz, making his impact on pass pro as well as the running the ball, catching the ball, doing everything else out there. He's having another great game.
So Long Beach taking a look at Obashir down on the ground. The big play upcoming here on 4th and 3 for the Cougars. As we said, 4-down territory. You need 6. 3 doesn't help right now.
No, gotta have it. Gotta have it. And that's the play. Again, you go to the playbook. You usually have 3, 4 of these circled that you know, okay, these are my go-to. These are no, I'm confident I can execute in. I'm confident in this point of the field. So, again, easier said than done sometimes.
Yep.
It's about going out there, lining up, and making it happen.
So this could very well be the ball game right here with 2:56 to go. Cougars trailing by 8, 26-18 in favor of Long Beach. Eden in the shotgun with Dunn out there. 3 receivers out to the far side. Eden will throw, steps up in the pocket, throws it high in the air towards the end zone. Caught in the end zone for a touchdown, Alonzo Henderson.
Just a beautiful route, Matt, and a nice passing catch. Eden to Henderson, like we've seen all season long. One of those plays we said that was in the back of their playbook. They went to it right at the perfect time. And look at Eden, shakes off the 4 interceptions from earlier, having himself a tremendous 4th quarter.
Fired up. Look at this. Had all sorts of pressure in his face. Stayed in the pocket, floated it over, and caught by Henderson in the corner of the end zone. Great catch from Alonzo Henderson for Dunn. He's got touchdown passes in every game this season. Now extends his streak to now 9 games with a touchdown pass this season. And this is a big 2-point conversion. Cougars trailing by 2. 2:49 on the clock here. Eden will be in the shotgun, Dunn in the backfield. Cougars with some extra blockers in there. Little bunch formation. They send Henderson in motion. Eden takes the snap. Will roll immediately to his right. Has to back it off. Throws it towards the end zone. Up, and it's into the hands and just dropped by Trayvon Elliott. Wow, nearly converted for the 2-point conversion.
Well, he was right there. His opportunity. That's a tough ball. And an even tougher catch. You see over 3 defenders tipped. Had a chance. You see the reaction of the fans there.
That was the reaction of us in the booth, too.
I mean, my hands were up. I was jumping. That was...
Nearly fell into the hands of Trayvon Elliott as Malik Welch had a hand on it. I think Dallas Branch had a hand on it. There were about 3 white jerseys that could have had a hand on that. And it was a good job from Eden just to kind of throw it up and give himself a chance there.
Yeah, absolutely. He felt the pressure and just, saw his man. I think that's the only option you really had, and it almost got there. Still enough time. And 1 timeout left. You want to be able to try and get the turnover or force them into a penalty, something to stop this clock. Don't let them run things out. But I'd love to see the Cougars have another opportunity here, especially the way this offense has been working in the 4th quarter and the way Eden has responded.
Yep. So we'll see what the plan is here. The special teams out there, Matt Crater, the assistant coach, special teams coach, having one final discussion with his special teams unit to see what they're going to do here. There's 2:49 to go. You only have 1 timeout if you're COC, so you maybe think about an onside kick or maybe just kick it away here, as now they shift a little bit. Brown bounces it high, and it's caught on a fair catch by Welch, and then he's knocked down and flags all on the field.
I think that was Toby Hills on the
trying to pop the ball loose.
Trying to make a play.
Have to know the fair catch is signaled, though.
Sure.
Ball was recovered by Long Beach. Kick catch interference on the kicking team. Held to 15 yards. First down.
So it marches the ball all the way up to right about the 30-yard line here. And Long Beach will take over from there. They can kind of sit on the ball with the Cougars only having one timeout, trailing by 2.
Well, I think it's all hands on deck.
Yeah.
CPR, club punch, rip, get that ball out and turn it around.
So the ball at the 31 with 2:49 to go. West in the backfield with Patton, who's been impressive today. Long Beach loads up the line of scrimmage here. They'll give to Patton. Stays on his feet, cuts it outside, gets across the 20, still on his feet inside the 10, muscles his way to the end zone for a Long Beach touchdown. And then a late 3 flags on the field. Patton just bounced his way through the inside and muscled his way into the end zone.
Well, that's the best way to describe it, Matt. He actually muscled and powered his way through there. Looks like another maybe unsportsmanlike flag at the end, probably some sort of something said, some sort of taunt. But credit to him on the run. Nice blocking up front. The hole was there. Long Beach came and executed it.
And that, with 2:39, I mean, the
Again,
good news, you only take 10 seconds off the clock.
Silver lining, if there was one, there's
Yeah.
still some time. Quick strike offense. Maybe line is scoring a couple plays, line up and try another one of those kicks.
Yeah.
Anything can happen. The ball bounces in mysterious ways sometimes. That is not what you like to see if you're College of the Canyons, but
Maybe just a little bit too much over pressure trying to pull, punch, and rip there. This is a long extra point try, though, for Alfredo Flores. So Cougars can maybe pin their ears back, try and get a hand on this and keep it within one score with 2:39 to go. As Flores will dial it up from the 25-yard line. So it'll be a 35-yard extra point. Flores this year is perfect from inside 39 on field goals, so this is well within his range. Snap is a bad snap. Cougars going to pick it up and fall on it at the 35-yard line, and so you stay within a one-score game here.
we started to say the ball can bounce in mysterious ways.
A huge break right there for the Cougars.
So all is not lost.
Unfortunately, you couldn't pick it up and run it back. You had a man streaking behind, and I think it was who was it for the Cougars? I'm trying to figure out who that was trying to streak and pick it up. I think it was on the outside here. Shane Morton, he just couldn't stay on his feet, had it in his hands, and if he had stayed on his feet, maybe he'd been able to sprint back to the end zone. Instead, Cougars get a huge break. They stay within 8 right now, 32-24, 2:39 on the clock, so you're back in the same position you were in just a few moments ago.
Yep, you're going to get another chance. And again, as hot as Eden has been here in this final quarter, the spark that a Caden Dunn has provided down the stretch, offensive line still doing its job up front. A lot of opportunity here, a lot of guys out there to get the ball to. It all starts here. You can get a healthy return. That'll go a long way towards evening this game up.
So Long Beach, a low line drive kick, will bounce up. It's taken at about the 25-yard line by TQ Gilmore. He cuts it outside the numbers, brings it back inside, works it back across to the other side of the field, switches hands, has plenty of room to operate across midfield, inside the 40, has a blocker out in front, across the 30, inside the 10, and it's a Cougar touchdown! No flags on the field.
Look at that sideline erupt. We called it. He's got the speed. He's got the talent to take that all the way, and that's exactly what he did. A tremendous special teams boost.
And all of a sudden, the tide has completely changed. Gilmore on a short kick. You take another look at it here. Took his time, too.
Set it up. Let his blockers come across. Everyone stayed in their lane, maintained. You see the block there, gets him to the edge, cuts it back across, makes a little juke here. and then he's just gone. Lots of real estate. Trayvon Elliott up
Out in
front
front.
on the block.
Did a great job
Doing
to hold
his
off the
thing,
punter.
Tiptoes down the sideline and gets in there. Tremendous job. What a boost. And now here we go, Matt. Just like whoa.
As you know, they say he got
No,
pushed out of
say he
bounds, so you
pushed
take
him
the
out.
points off the board. So after all of that, the whistle blows. The Cougars are in the red zone with 2:23 on the clock. So never mind, we take the touchdown off the board. A little too much excitement on our end.
The excitement was warranted, and regardless of taking the points off the board, he's put the Cougars right in position, right where they want to be here.
And Ted Isenda is hot at the head referee.
I mean,
the white
honestly,
hat.
if we could see the replay again, I did not see him go out of bounds. I know we're a little farther up here, so we'll have to respect the call. But, again, a tremendous job here.
Well, we'll get a look at it right here in a second.
You see the block by Elliott. He comes across. He's going to
Liam is trying to push him out of bounds here in a second.
He's going to be tiptoeing up here.
I don't know if we can see it on that.
No. I didn't see the out of bounds.
Well,
I mean, again,
where they marked him was right about the 6-yard line.
I guess possibly.
Maybe his toe on the
if you
6-yard
get
line.
Just barely on the edge there, possibly.
Right there. I think that might be the only look we have at it. As they mark him out at the 6. So it's a huge return.
Either way, you get your offense here. A lot of momentum, 6-yard line. You get your red zone package out there. Let's go back to work, gentlemen.
79-yard return. Cougars on 1st and 10 from inside the 10-yard line. They throw to the end zone. It bounced before it got to Henderson. So it'll be 2nd and 10 here. Again, you're in the same position. You need 6 on the board.
Oh, and that looked like that was there. If that was a little bit of a cleaner throw. Henderson coming across right at the goal line. Had a chance. Going to bring up 2nd down.
So 2:17, 2nd down and 10. Cougars trailing 32-24. It was all Long Beach in the 3rd quarter, but the momentum has kind of shifted into COC's favor, trying to punch it in for 6.
And that's what the Cougars do. They flip the switch, and it turns out it's a whole different team out there sometimes.
So Eden here on 2nd down. Protection is there. We'll throw it over the middle, and it's intercepted. Another interception, and I want to say it's DeAnthony Jones again for the 4th time today in a little bit of a slot and just able to find the ball. The 5th interception on Armani Eden.
That's a heartbreaking result, Matt. You're going to see him right there. He's had his number all game for whatever reason.
And actually, no, it was the linebacker Pierre Hayes that made the interception this time.
That's unfortunate.
Yep. Cougars had all the momentum. They thought they had the kick return for the touchdown, and then an interception from Eden after it got called back, saying
it goes back to that call.
Yep.
The game of inches, and we'll never know if he was actually on the line or just close to it. You got to respect the call, but that was a tough break for the Cougars.
So now you got to pin your ears back and try and go after him. And there's 2:08 left. There's still a lot of time.
Still time. You hope for a bad snap here, some sort of penalty, some sort of turnover, fumble.
They'll hand off to Patton. Bounces it outside, has all sorts of room to run. Gouges the defense for another big run. Stays in bounds across the 40-yard line. Tackled there. And Long Beach can just take their time and walk up to the line of scrimmage and waste another 40 seconds. Once the chains get set.
Please set the clock at 1 minute 50 seconds. 1 minute 50 seconds.
So they need to reset the clock to 150. As the clock ticking away, Long Beach can dial off another 25 seconds here. They'll likely go right back to Patton. So it looks like the Vikings are going to do what they needed to do, come into Cougar Stadium and knock off COC, who is right now leading the SCFA's Northern League. But a win for Long Beach gives them the inside track now as they're undefeated in league play as well. They'll hand off to Patton again. He fights the pile forward, gets a good chunk of yards, 5, and that puts the clock inside of 60 seconds. Long Beach will only be able to tick it down here and take it all the way inside of 30 seconds. One more run, and that'll do it for the ball game. Long Beach can just make sure they don't fumble here, and they've got it. No fumble, no bad snap, and they have knocked off the Cougars, the third-ranked team in the SCFA. Long Beach in the top 15 will jump all the way up.
They'll be moving up the rankings. You know, either way, the final result's not what we were looking for as College of the Canyons, but a tremendous ball game. Credit to the Vikings. They came here on the road, did what they needed to do, caught a couple breaks, were able to execute when they needed to. Some tough runs down the stretch, so hats off to them. Congratulations to Coach Peabody and the Vikings.
As he picks up the win, Long Beach improving now to 7-2. The Cougars fall to 7-2. And now next week, really, Jesse, they need some help from Long Beach's opponent next week to try and find their way in.
Long Beach will be at Ventura.
Yep.
We'll see how Ventura shakes out tonight.
Yep.
Cougars have their work cut out for them. A road game, always tough to go up to Bakersfield, but still a chance here as we head into Week 10 action. That's a disappointing one, especially to see it end how it did with points off the board. That's a rarity. Just didn't work out tonight.
And that makes the ELAC game, ELAC beating Ventura right now, an even bigger upset, because that actually hurts the Cougars. You needed Ventura to win out if you're going to lose this game to give yourself a chance at a 3-way tie and kind of going to points there. But now, despite what happens next week, Long Beach has the inside track. A win next week puts them likely in the SCFA playoffs. The Cougars now need some help. They need a couple of teams to lose to find their way in. As they drop this one in a heartbreaker late, they didn't have much going on early, had it going late, but they lose 32-24. A big win for Long Beach. Thank you for joining us here tonight. We thank you for joining us all season long here at Cougar Stadium. We maybe will see you again, but at this point doesn't look likely. So we thank you for joining us here on SoCal College Sports, home for Cougar football. Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.